There she is.
Welcome to Jill's.
Can I offer you some tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Would you make me some of that lo mein soup?
And if you can't believe it, it's a Friday once again.
Greetings and felicitations.
Hello and welcome to Plummeek Tea Time number 142. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite cartoon series ever that I've had with me ever since I was a very small child. And, I didn't realize how intelligent it was when I was a kid. There was just something that drew me to it. There's something, of course, I see in it now and as an adult that I didn't see then. And usually it was on early in the morning when I was very young, and it was right after the Smurfs or something, and I was like, damn it, I have to sit through this nonsense to get to the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. And so even that young, I could tell there was something special about the show that it was just so much fun. And maybe when you're that young, you kind of like the repetitiveness of the bumpers and everything. But it was also really funny. But I know that I was laughing at very different things when I was 6 than what I laugh at now. And so, of course, there's the slapstick and the absurdity for the kids. But when you grow older, you get more of the jokes, you get more of the cultural satire and politics and stuff and all the wit. And so it on the surface, if you don't really know this show, it just seems like a simple cartoon about a moose and a squirrel with some fun spy elements. And but it's so much more thoughtful than that. And we're going to talk a whole lot about what makes this show that special and way cooler than a lot of cartoons, because a lot of kids shows I go back and watch them and I've grown out of them. But this one, I don't think I'll ever grow out of Rocky Bullwinkle. So this is
Never.
fun to talk about. Yeah. So what we're going to do today, there's so much in this, is that we're just going to focus on half of the jet fuel story arc. And it's the very first story arc, and I had to go with it because it's sci-fi. There are moon men and little guns that freeze rays, and
Scrooge.
rockets, and oh yeah, scrooging, yeah. Don't get scrooged. You got to make sure. Did you set it for 5 hours or 50 years? Oh no. So it has 40 segments, which is the longest of all of the story arcs that the show has, but we only have time for 20 today. We might not even have time for that. We'll see what happens, but we have so much to talk about. So we might just look through the slides as we discuss what we like about the show, which should be okay too.
That'd be perfect.
And
if you look at the subject matter in the year this came out, like it was astonishingly good sci-fi for the time. I mean, freeze rays, moon men, rocket fuel.
right.
That's fairly sophisticated for late 1950s.
We hadn't been to the moon yet, so
Yeah.
so fictionally, Rocky and Bullwinkle went there, and I know, it had been done before in literature, but it's and other sci-fi. But anyway, it's just all the wonderful bumpers and the gags, the fractured fairy tales, Peabody's improbable history, talking about sci-fi in every episode, even if the storyline wasn't sci-fi. You've got time travel, because time travel was sci-fi all the way until we realized it was impossible. But anyway, and Aesop and Son we got one episode of that in this first 10 episode run. Unfortunately, Dudley Jewright does not show up, but it may be you guys can mention if you want to. And I want to explore how this show plays with language, and any way that you like it. Already backstage, we already had a lot of discussions that I hope we can repeat again, because I don't want to miss any of that, and just try to figure out how wonderful and brilliant the storytelling is here, and why we still enjoy it why we enjoyed it when we were 6, and why I know I will still enjoy it when I turn 60 one day. And so I didn't have time for clips, which is okay because I had a copyright monetization scare recently anyway. So we're just gonna have to perform our favorite scenes ourselves if we think of any.
Oh, absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be within the jet fuel storyline. If it's something that that's really memorable for you, this can just be, whatever you like. And so I want to thank Scotty R37 for suggesting this as a topic, because this is one of my favorite things.
Well, hey, that's thank you for having me, and good to see everybody. It's funny how you talk about this show with reminiscence, because this is all new to me. When I was a kid, I didn't really care for Rocky and Bullwinkle. I was more of a Looney Tunes guy. Still am, still love the Looney Tunes, but I had seen the movie, and then I caught it in the algorithm. Showed me the trailer, and I was like, you know what? I got to revisit that movie. And I did. And I was like, you know what? I got to watch the show. So I got the box set of the complete series, and it makes me so happy. I guess it's also because I have patience as an adult, because as you mentioned, the repeating bumpers, I was like, why am I watching the opening credits 3 times during the same half hour? But now I kind of like it. It's like listening to your favorite radio station that has the station breaks, and it's like, don't forget, you're watching Rocky and Bullwinkle. It's like, thanks, man. So I really like this, and I think that the writing in it grabbed me, because it sure as heck ain't the animation, although I do enjoy the animation as well. But it's also, when you compare it to something like a Chuck Jones or a Tex Avery, this is very pedestrian in terms of the production of the animation. But I do think that it makes up for it with the character design. It's really charming, and because of that sort of, I don't want to say slapdash, but sort of the quick turnaround on the production, I found out that that they got away with so much more by like handing in the episodes half an hour before broadcast and being like, yeah, we'll get away with anything because I don't know what we're going to show. So
yeah.
really
you think this kind of quick production cycle inspired South Park, maybe, because they do they do kind of the same thing in terms of the turnaround. But
well, I see
what happened here with the animation, though, is that it was outsourced to save money, but they didn't realize what low quality they were going to get from the studio, the Gamma production studio.
But it's also like in one of the things that I noticed, it's like there are episodes where people's noses disappear. There are pans, and then characters just completely go away. You can see, and I've got the DVD set, but you can see the scratches, or like there's a hair on the cell, and as they pan, the hair comes with it. And I don't know, those artifacts, some people could get upset and with the remasters and things like that, but I do like the artifacts of that animation at the time. And yeah, I think that it could have something to do with inspiration, not only to South Park, but a lot of, primetime animated series from the 90s. Like, I do think that there is a subversion that is like, oh, yeah, it's for kids. We swear it's for kids. But there are little things like there's a part where one of the Moon Men takes a book off of a shelf, and it's Sex from Planet X. And it's like,
he doesn't
wow.
take the book off of the shelf, but that is on the book.
It's there.
Yeah. Well, the show is famous for its implied swearing, and because I grew up in a house where my mother was very proper, but my dad had a pretty potty mouth. Like, whenever they would do that, he would go, son of a, and then they'd cut it off. And I just found that so funny and would laugh. But since we're doing the jet fuel arc, the first half of that was actually filmed and created a year before the second half. And so there were a lot of audio changes and some animation changes in between. Like William Conrad, when he narrated, he was very sort of straight-laced and forthright on the first part of that. But as he sort of got the flavor for the show, he would become more flamboyant and more loose with its narration. So you can totally, and this is before they had somebody, actually replace and imitating his voice, but you can see over that one story arc how he begins to loosen up and become more whimsical with the show. So that's one of those things when you know that the second half was done almost a year after the first half.
Interesting. Well, Istophobos, I want to thank you for also bringing all the knowledge that you know about Rocky and Bullwinkle. And I can't wait to learn stuff from you today. And could you tell us a bit about how you your history with the show just a bit?
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching it. I think it was a nighttime show, right? It came on at night.
Originally, yes.
And we'd sort of watch it together. And one of the things I remember is that when I was laughing is not when the grown-ups were laughing. And at the time, I had no reason to suspect or understand the multi-layers of humor that are in the show for all ages. But I don't think there's ever been a show since that has been written to be so accessible for people 4 and 7 and 40 and 70 alike. I mean, no matter what point of your life you're in, this show is funny and it sort of resonates, and it's extremely clever the way they work with puns in a non-painful way. I think like the Fractured Fairy Tales were some of my favorite, but as I got older, I would love the history segments. And when you're a really little kid, man, just a cartoon squirrel, there's nothing wearing a Snoopy hat. There's nothing more funny than that. It's like, but as you grow up and become more sophisticated in your sense of humor, the show goes along with you. And I think that's amazing. And I'm trying to recall a show that did it as well as this one. And so, it's not like I've watched it consistently through my life, but I did watch them when they were being aired. And then I watched them in college a lot where, people had them on video cassettes and and we would laugh. And then, just a couple of years ago is when they started releasing them on disc, and I got those and started rewatching them, and it was every bit as entertaining as I can remember. And
I watched them in college too on DVD, so they were on disc when I was in university.
And unlike many other cartoons, I didn't have to be in an altered state of mind to enjoy these. Like you could be stone cold sober. And
I was just going to say that I had to rewatch the first 10 episodes because when I got the box set, it was like, well, it looks like it's a rainy afternoon here in Frostbite Falls. Scott's going to roll himself a joint and watch some Rocky and Bullwinkle. And I was like, I don't remember any of this. And I watched it like last year. It's great.
Yeah, you better be sober when you're watching Rocky and Bullwinkle because it's just flying thick and fast. If you're loaded, you are not going to catch a fraction of it.
It's not like SpongeBob where it helps to be high. But should I tell the thing about my neighbors? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
tell you the thing about your neighbors, and then I want to hear from Tiger Stripes and how it caught her.
Okay, so I was living in a really cool apartment on the West Coast, and it's a multicultural city. And I had some downstairs neighbors. You could actually walk out the balcony and into their porch, and it was I think at the time that Eastern Europe, I think they were Serbian. And their names, and I kid you not, it was a couple. They weren't married, but they were living together, and they came over from Europe together. Their names were Boris and Natasha, and I could never get over that. I just like sort of had to hold in laughter every time I said hi.
Were they aware?
Oh yeah. They probably the moment they probably were aware, before they even got here. But I'm sure the second they stepped off the plane, like the passport guy, it's like, Boris, Natasha. But because of their accents, they very much sounded like Boris and Natasha. And so it wasn't just the names, it was the way they talked. And
that would be so funny every time I would interact with them. I would be like, hey, wait a second, you look familiar.
Yeah, I almost
Those
bought Boris.
voices. Where have I heard those voices?
Yeah, I almost bought him a hat like that once. We were at a street market and I saw a hat that sort of looked like that. But they were wonderful neighbors, by the way. They made very interesting cuisine, and Boris was quite the musician. So
nice.
It was a pleasure. But I just still, it's like I actually lived on top of Boris and Natasha, and they sound, wasn't exactly the accent, but it was fairly close. So,
and they never tried to drop a safe on you. That's good. They are good neighbors.
No, but I used to bug them because my alarm clock would go off after I already left, and it would beep throughout the day. I ended up getting see, we used to use alarm clocks. That was that way we woke up back in ancient times. Before cell phones.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then a neighbor across the street stole your alarm clock because he was a night watchman.
I should have gotten one of the little wind up with a bell, because then Boris could turn it into a bomb.
Hey, it sounds like a clock.
Yeah, Bullwinkle Still Trap Mind has done it again. So, Tiger Stripes, how did you get into Rocky and Bullwinkle? Can you tell us?
Yeah, initially in reruns in the early 60s. I don't believe I ever watched it broadcast. I think there were just other things competing with it when it was on, particularly when it was on prime time. I've just learned today that it was a lead-in for Disney, and Disney was definitely on in my house. So how we managed to miss that, I don't know. And those were the episodes where Bill Scott had a Bullwinkle puppet and would do a lead in and a lead out to the show live, with the puppet. And he mocked mercilessly everybody on NBC. He mocked Disney.
Yeah.
He mocked the lineup for Sunday night. He mocked the NBC executives. So, of course, that didn't last long, because there's nobody who cannot take mocking like a network executive.
I heard about the infamous story that he not only did he do that, he also encouraged the children to take off the dials off of the television.
Yes. I just listened to them today. They're all on YouTube. Yes, he told the kids that the knobs are all removable. So if you remove the channel knob, then your TV will be set to this channel for next Sunday and next Sunday and next Sunday.
Yeah,
so,
we might have to explain what channel knobs are to some of our listeners.
Yes, that's true.
But, I do remember Lassie, I think, would come on right after this, and Bullwinkle would make fun of Lassie, and then
Lassie was on an opposition. Lassie was on CBS
Okay.
at the same time.
Okay,
so they were their
merciless
competition.
They were merciless with their competition too.
Sure.
I know which one I would rather watch, because we didn't really do Disney.
But they reran them on Saturday, and then at some point they moved them to Sunday, in the afternoon. So if you ran, when you got home from church, you'd be able to watch Bullwinkle, and that was the point where I really remember watching it, and with Dad present, who would laugh long and hard. So, that was always a plus. Anything that made my daddy laugh, I wanted to be in on. And that's when I really remember watching it. But I am an animation fan, and I was always a big Rocky and Bullwinkle fan. But, it is, the bumpers are merciless. The repetition of the bumpers kind of, does drive me a little crazy. And I found myself fast forwarding through them. I got very good at it, while I was rewatching these. And when I moved to LA, the Dudley Do-Right Emporium, which was a gift shop owned by Jay Ward himself, that was at the top of Sunset Boulevard, was still open. And I went there a few times. And I have some pictures to share, Jill.
Ooh.
Am I doing this right? Yeah. So this is the Rocky and Bullwinkle statue that was outside of the Dudley Do-Right Emporium. It's funny because I once heard somebody, I was like at a party where somebody was talking about this being on the Sunset Strip in the 60s as a teenager. And she was kind of going on. She's like, and then, of course, we would just all meet at the Blue Moose. And I was fascinated by this. And I said, the Blue Moose, I've never heard of that club. Was it a bar? And she's like, no, this big blue moose. And I'm like, the blue moose. And so she was talking about the statue. Apparently, it was such a landmark that all the teens would meet there and then, walk down Sunset Boulevard together for the evening. And that was fascinating to me that it was that much of a landmark. And then I have the other one, picture of the cover of Myra Breckenridge. There was across the street a statue of a showgirl. And I only learned this today. And Jay Ward had this made as a satire of that statue, which is also on the cover of Myra Breckenridge. If you want to put that up just real briefly, Jill. Yeah. So this is the statue that the Rocky and Bullwinkle statue was a parody of. And I had never known that before. So that's just brilliant. That's enough of that. But
there are so many references. I didn't even pick them all up on these episodes that we're going to talk about today. There's just an incredible amount of things that
the minds that wrote this too. They went on, the people, the two writers went on to write situation comedies. One of them, I think, came up with The Munsters, and another one was big on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. So they kept writing. They were pros.
We are going to talk about the production and how the show was made, but before we do, I want to say hello to the chat, but I think Estephobos has one more thing he wants to add.
Yeah, in case it wasn't obvious, Boris and Natasha, I guess I'm the resident expert. I used to live by them.
Exactly.
They were based on not the Addams Family, but on the Addams cartoon that the Addams Family eventually evolved into. So,
they were definitely, that's amazing.
So,
it was the original New Yorker comic,
right?
Single panel.
And so I didn't know that. So to hear that one of them went on to write the Munsters, that just makes it even more interesting little bit of trivia there. So. And nothing has charm like 6 frames per second animation. And, it used to take a lot of flack for it, but man, it's perfect for the material. Like it just is. So
it's beautiful. Well, and I want to say hello to everybody. So FKHC 2005, Tim is here from France. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your wonderful vacation in France. I hope you're having a wonderful time there and doing all the things that you want to do in France. I don't know. He'll probably be listening to this on the replay because he's probably doing stuff. I don't know what time it is in France.
It's French time.
Oh yeah. It's the middle of the day, so he should be having a good time. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah,
for checking, stopping by, and Jamie Lynn is here. Hello. And Anna Nielsen. Anna, we always appreciate you here. She says, rest in peace to Chuck Norris, the truest of legends. Yeah. And
from what I understand, Chuck Norris died and then wrote his own obituary afterwards.
That's it. That really is his most recent legacy over the past 20 years for me. Is all of those jokes have been incredible joy to so many people.
Well, it's so crazy just in terms of the legacy that Chuck Norris has in terms of working with Bruce Lee, being a martial artist, going through all of those Missing in Action, being an 80s action icon, maybe on the B or C level, but still permeating pop culture, going to Walker, Texas Ranger, being a principled entertainer, not wanting to sort of highlight violence and vulgarity, which is something that happened with his Expendables appearance, unfortunately. But he's always been, and then also, come on, you gotta with Dodgeball, like he's been everywhere, and then being sort of a touchstone of internet memery. And so he has touched many generations for both virtue and vice, I guess, like in terms of being both comedic and dramatic, being inspirational and a bit of a clown. But he's always done it with style and grace. And he had a large family who loved him very much. And his legacy will continue around the world for years to come, I hope, I think.
Definitely. Suzanne wanted to mention it too, as well as Gorilla's Random Thoughts, who
Suzanne.
says rest in peace. Yeah, hello to you too. And Entropy Manor might be quiet as I'm somewhat at work, but I will be listening to the nostalgia.
Delicious.
And Gorilla says Chuck Norris died because Jesus needed a bodyguard.
Yes.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down. Well, yeah, and I was a math tutor, so Chuck Norris could divide by 0.
Well, and again, I hope nobody takes it as sort of being flippant with the man's passing,
No,
but because it is part of
that's
his
fine.
legacy, he's going to be able to do anything. He has been able to do anything. So I just want to keep that going.
Yeah, I mean, it's consistent with the sort of humor and legend that has evolved around him. I don't think anybody thinks we're being flippant. That's really the tone of all of the Chuck Norris jokes. So
yeah,
and
I think that
so
works.
yeah. And DJ Play Nice is here.
Hey, DJ.
And oh wait, he was here. I think he just made a stop by, but thank you so much for stopping by. All y'all be safe, have fun, take care of your crew, and rock. And he's always great even when he's just stopping by. And okay, I just had to check something. So yes, good morning, Suzanne. And she says hi to everybody individually.
Suzanne's good that way.
Oh, she is. Max Redstone. Oh no, he's not feeling well today. I hope you feel better, Max. Gosh. Yeah. And you're gonna lurk from bed. Yeah. Take care of yourself. Feel better. Drink water. And Gavin, it's business Istophobos. What? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what he was saying there either, but hey, Gavin, you know,
I don't know either. But it's interesting. And yeah, Gavin's here. Gavin's here. So since Gavin's here, we can talk about the production of the series. Of course, the idea came from Jay Ward, but also Alex Anderson was working on something with him called Crusader Rabbit, but Alex didn't want to move to California. Well, wait, he wasn't. He didn't want to move from San Francisco to what was it? L.A.
Los Angeles.
And or Los Angeles, yeah. And so
Yeah, I've got a picture to share of the Frostbite Falls review, which I think was the original springboard. That's where Alex Anderson's, I think, main contribution to the Rocky and Bullwinkle came. I do think that he probably was the person who originally drew these characters.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
He
wow,
was,
okay,
he was
really neat.
involved in Terry Tunes. You know, one of his, I think, an uncle was like the Terry in Terry Tunes. So he had background in animation. And he and Ward were friends in San Francisco. But if you want to be in the business, you got to take it to Los Angeles. And so when Jay Ward went, Anderson stayed in San Francisco. That's where he wanted to live. And so that was the division between the two of them. But these are the original characters.
But that was nice of Alex Anderson to be okay with letting his character
He was
go.
not okay. He sued.
Oh, he was not okay.
Many
he
years
sued.
later, mostly for credit. He did get an amount after he sued, and this was in the 90s. So it was even after Ward had passed, I think, maybe not. But he mostly wanted the credit, because he had watched a documentary where his name wasn't even mentioned once. And that's when he decided to sue. I really think he just wanted acknowledgement, but he did get money, and I'm happy about that. He should be acknowledged because these are beautiful designs.
At least we acknowledged him today. We do appreciate him
Yes.
for creating Rocky and Bullwinkle as their image and even their idea, like the whole idea of being meta and having a show about making a show is definitely stuck with the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's so it was a group of forest animals running a television station, which still is featured in lots of the bumpers of the show.
Yeah, that's Frostbite
And
Falls was a parody of International Falls, Minnesota, the icebox of the nation. I just thought that was a hoot.
yeah, because it's cold. How many days out of the year?
Well, it's
Half
just
the year.
famous because it's right up there on the border with Canada, and so
Mm. Yeah. Well, yeah. Except in this 10 episodes, Bullwinkle says it's in Florida.
you could buy the whole city for $8.
Hey,
Oh,
$8
yeah.
bucks.
But it's in Minnesota.
Yes.
Bone is here. Hey, hello, TGIF.
hey, Bone.
And so let's see what else happened there. And so they moved, obviously, and so that's how Ward hired Bill Scott. And so Bill Scott gets more mention, I suppose, because of that.
Yeah, I found a really nice Bill Scott quote where he says, I got in a 1982 interview, Scott said, I got a call from Jay asking if I'd be interested in writing another series, an adventure script with a moose and a squirrel. I said, sure. I didn't know if I could write an adventure with a moose and a squirrel, but I never turned down a job. So there you go.
It's a good
Great
attitude to
advice
have.
for anybody.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, and that's also William Shatner's way of living. He doesn't say no to most things either, I guess. And so that's definitely something to look at. And so let's see what else is here and how. What do you know about this Ponsonby Brit? Oh, I know it's not a real person, but I'm kind of confused.
I think today's the first day I learned that Ponsonby Brit is not a real person. He was the credited but fictional executive producer of the Rocky and Bullwinkle show, as well as Fractured Flickers, Hoppity Hooper, and George of the Jungle. In 1959, TV network executives insisted that its producers under contract must submit official biographies citing their past awards and accomplishments. Ward and Scott, feeling that their own biographies were unimpressive, invented the name Ponsonby Brit Limited as their executive producer. The billing was updated in 1967 to Ponsonby Brit OBE, that's Order of the British Empire, and they used his official biography in press releases. So I didn't do a search for a Ponsonby Brit's official biography, but I wish I had because I need to read that.
I do too. I didn't really.
I had no idea that wasn't a real person.
I don't realize, that there's fake producers. That's funny.
That is a hoot.
And there's hello to Mrs. Jadman Walking. So good to see you. And I hope you're doing well. And yes, that's true. My Jill Note Spot does know to promote you. There are some people that I need to add to that. But yes, you're welcome. And it's also got Dadman Walking 55 there too. I promote both of you at the same time. Phantom Outsider says, a few weeks ago, I found my DVD set for the whole Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah, I've got the box set, seasons 1 through 5. It's great. And so, yes, it first broadcast for the first time on November 19th, 1959. And on ABC under the title Rocky and His Friends on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons after American Bandstand at 4:30.
That's huge. Bandstand was huge. So that's a great lead-in.
Yeah, that makes sense. It definitely sounded important to me. I've never seen one episode of Bandstand, so
it's worth watching at least one, just because once you've seen one, you've sort of seen them all. And you get the timing of the show and how they started it, and then when they brought in the musical guest to lip sync, and then all the kids dancing. Big deal. It's huge.
All the kids dancing.
Oh no, that was really the important part of the show. It's really about the kids as much as anybody else.
Speaking of which, we already talked about the puppets, so I can skip this part. No,
if you've got a picture of the puppet, you should show us because
I've never seen the puppet.
No, you haven't.
It's all on YouTube.
I wanted to.
I'm just going through my box set. I didn't go through the tubes.
Okay. I can bring one up.
But when it comes to the sort of just the constant use of the bumpers and the reused animation, obviously okay. Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's
But
really good.
just the reuse of that those elements, it does remind me of other productions at the time, like or maybe probably like 62, I think, is when you got like Rocket Robin Hood and Hercules, which were Filmation, I believe. And they would start a show and it would work like a 1930s serial. It's like, oh, and tune in next time when we find out. And it would do that, and then you'd have basically the opening credits again. And so it's fun that they have that as sort of it's something that reminds me of the productions of the time, where
It's basically
as
set
it-
up like a radio show, a radio play,
Yeah.
but on TV.
There's also elements of vaudeville and melodrama.
for sure.
Wait a minute. Melodrama?
Melodrama, which is spelled melodrama but pronounced melodrama. That's the one with I can't pay the rent. You must pay the rent. I can't pay the rent. You must pay the rent. I'll pay the rent. My hero curses, foiled again. Yeah, you call that a melodrama. And it was,
And that's
very
different from a
popular
melodrama?
traveling play. Very different from a melodrama, which is an actual form of theater, a story. That's often referred to also as a woman's story or a woman's movie, a melodrama. But a melodrama is like Dudley Do-Right, essentially, with the obvious villain, with the drawn-on mustache, the heroine, like Perils of Pauline. It was a very
Pete.
popular traveling theater piece across America, probably in the 1800s.
Oh, David. Oh, Marsha.
Well, okay, so
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's a
go
melodrama.
We're gonna go through the voice actors just in case we don't go through them later. So, of course, we've already mentioned Bill Scott. He, of course, not just helped write and create Rocky and Bullwinkle, but he also played Bullwinkle, Dudley Do-Right, the fearless leader, Mr. Peabody, Gidney. Oh yeah, the
Gidney and Cloyd.
Yeah. Mr. Big and others, various others. Like, yes, you could just say that to everybody, various others for everybody, because it's animation. June Foray, of course, played
The
Rocky. Yeah, she's amazing. Natasha Fatal, basically all the women.
Yes, and most of the kids.
Right.
If
right.
there's
that makes
anybody who
sense
was a
too.
child.
Mhm.
Like Rocky
Paul-
himself, who always think of Rocky as a little boy, even though he's a squirrel.
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of women who are very good at sounding like a little boy. So that works out just like, Bart Simpson.
Yes,
Yeah.
Nancy Cartwright.
Oh, what's going on with my phone?
Well, I would assume it has.
Oh,
that.
it was just an alarm. Goodness. I'll be right back, guys. Technical difficulty.
Okay. Phantom Outsider, Scotty, says Rock
Yes.
and Robin Hood was Krantz Films Incorporated. Mighty Hercules was by American Cartoon Productions. And this is where, I don't want to be the insufferable know-it-all, because I really don't know it all. But I don't think Filmation was a studio until the 70s. That's my gut.
No, I'm willing to be. I've been wrong a lot. You've been present for a bunch of it. And so, but I'm just saying in terms of the presentation, if I get the production wrong, the studio's wrong, the actors, the years, then I just, welcome to hanging out with me. But
Thank you, Phantom.
Thank you, Phantom. It does remind me of that sort of fast and dirty, cheap way to be able to sort of, I don't want to say churn it out, but like to make it.
No, they did churn it out. The Mexican studio that was making Rocky and Bullwinkle was churning it out. I have another Bill Scott quote.
Yeah.
We found out very quickly that we could not depend on Mexican studios to produce anything of quality. They were turning out the work very quickly, and there were all kinds of mistakes and flaws and boo-boos they would never check. Mustaches popped on and off Boris. Bullwinkle's antlers would change, colors would change, costumes would disappear. By the time we finally saw it, it was on the air.
Mama
So-
Bear's entire bed disappears.
The thing that gets
in
me is
the
the way
Goldilocks.
the noses lose their color. The nose, which is sort of an oval in the middle of a face, will be black in one frame, but then it just will be the outline of an oval. And so they won't have painted the nose in for like a few frames, and then it will pop back on again. So,
But that's
So-
also, I think that's also something that I find in terms of the charm of the show is that the characterization and the action, the wit, the slapstick, all of it really compensates for. It's like, yes, I can see the flaws. Doesn't matter. Doesn't bother me.
And they never bothered me at all before watching this. The only time I'm noticing it is now that I'm watching it to review it. I'm like, oh man, this is not right.
Oh yeah,
the
for little kids, the nose changing color is funny. Like that's just part of the charm.
well, losing color.
Yeah.
Well, the best thing about it is that they move so quickly that they're there and gone. I mean, you really have to be watching hard to notice them because they're not consistent errors. But there's so many of them.
Yeah, they
And-
pop up on and off. It's wild.
Phantom
Filmation
Outsider says,
started in 1962 as they did DC superhero cartoons in the mid 60s.
nice.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And Jamie Lynn has been watching Rocket Robin Hood and The Mighty Hercules. Hey, Herc. Hey, Herc.
Wow. So Paul Frees played Boris Badenoff and Captain Wrongway, Peach Fuzz, Cloyd. So the other Moon Man,
Yes.
Inspector Fenwick, and narrator. He was one of the narrators for Dudley Do Right, and lots of other characters, lots of historical figures. He was also, speaking of a historical figure, he plays a parody in the very first segment we watch of Orson Welles.
This is not a play. Feel free to panic.
Yes.
Well,
Walter Tetley is Sherman. Go ahead.
no, I was saying William Conrad
Doing roll
was
call.
sort of like Orson Welles Jr. growing up. He too had a similar deep voice and gravitas, and it's funny because he was the original narrator. So
Well, and this, I was going to say, for those of you who don't know who William Conrad is, and now I'm going to give you a reference that you're not going to know either, is that in Jake and the Fat Man, he was not
Yeah.
Jake.
yes,
Canon. I always think of William
Yes.
Conrad, although I wasn't really a
Oh,
Canon
that's a good
fan.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
Well,
William Conrad
speaking of William
is
Conrad, yeah,
interesting.
he's the narrator. He's the main narrator for Rocky and Bullwinkle and for Dudley Do Right, and so he's the other narrator there. And so, Phantom Outsider says the same Mexican studio, that's Gamma Productions, did Rocky and Bullwinkle, also did Underdog. So that's good. Gamma Productions, yes, there it is.
if you look at a picture of William Conrad, he has this similar kind of intense stare and countenance that Orson Welles does. He has those same piercing eyes and a very just a high gravitas persona. And he was a TV staple, back in the old days.
Oh yeah, well, clearly he was the narrator for Buck Rogers. And
Yeah.
wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And so-
he did How the West Was Won, Cannon, Barnaby Jones, and Gunsmoke. Yeah, it's like
And other character actors we have here are Dawes Butler, Charles Ruggles, Hans Conrad. Oh yeah, you guys are mentioning him. Edward Everett Horton.
Edward
And
Everett
who-
Horton Lane.
Yeah,
There's a
the
tiny
narrator
little
for-
street in the valley called Edward Everett Horton Lane.
Oh, nice.
One
He's such a-
assumes that he built the house and so had it named after himself or something.
But his voice is so good. It kind of reminds me of Burl Ives from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
The
And
Ice-T guy.
it's so velvety smooth and inviting in terms of the Fractured Fairy Tales.
He really
narration.
imbues every word as a narrator in Fractured Fairy Tales. I was
Yeah.
listening and I was just really amazed. I'm sure he's probably reading off the cuff, but he just takes all the right pauses and hits all the right important words. That's training, I think.
Yeah, he is credited with 163 episodes of this show.
Holy
Wow.
moly.
So we finally got to the introduction of the show. I know that Scotty wants to read the intro, so we're going to read the intro, and at the end of the live stream, we're going to read the outro also. And so we've got, I think Estrophobos should be reading the narration. Conrad's job. That's what I want. And then Tiger Stripes could be Rocky, because I see that she has a Rocky avatar.
I have worked on Rocky's voice a little bit.
Oh, nice. Okay, and I think Scotty is Bullwinkle.
Okay, let's see. A thunder of jets and an open sky, a streak of gray and a cheerful high, a loop, a whirl, a vertical climb, and once again, it's time for the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends, starring that supersonic speedster Rocket J Squirrel with his pal Bullwinkle the Moose and a host of others.
Hurry, Bullwinkle, the show's about to start.
I'm coming as fast as I can.
Wave to the people. Yay!
I don't know how to say I waved with my feet, but I waved with my
Now
feet.
what are you doing?
Signing autographs. Let's see. John Smith.
But your name is Bullwinkle.
I know, but that's hard to spell.
We're going to have a lot of fun. Come on and join us.
Sure, there's always room for one more.
That was fun.
I need more practice. I used to practice
I
more
was perfect.
You were perfect.
That was surprisingly funny and entertaining. What do you mean? No, you were great.
There's a great puppet segment where the puppet says, "Well, my people recently got a call from Red Skelton's agent who asserted that I sound like his character Clem Kadiddlehopper, but I don't sound like him at all. Here, let me do an impression of Clem Kadiddlehopper. Hi, folks, I'm Clem Kadiddlehopper." It was just too funny.
So good.
You're really rubbing it in.
Right.
Well, but
so,
that's why I like the subversion in hearing about these, like, because I didn't see those introductions, but when Walt Disney got upset with the primetime presentation of Rocky and Bullwinkle, because they were making
they name checked him.
They totally did. Totally did. There was no holding back, and it was because Disney was they were in a partnership to try and sell color televisions, and Bullwinkle was on screen being like, "You don't have to buy a new television set. What?
Yeah.
I don't think you have to spend that kind of money. In fact, if I had to spend that money, I'd see red. Hey, look, your television's in color now."
Did we mention that the puppet bumpers, the intros and outros, are available on YouTube?
They're all on
Yes.
YouTube.
I don't
Wonderful.
see. I'm old. I don't remember if we mentioned that yet. So,
Oh, you were away when we mentioned it. Thronkill, about the intro performance was S tier according to Thronkill, and Gavin Blackburn claps for you guys.
Yay.
And yes, there you
S tier
go.
doesn't
Yeah.
sound that good though.
No, it is.
Alphabetically. Is it?
It's a good thing. It's
Oh,
super.
boy.
yeah, S tier is the top above A, B, C, and D. It's
All the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
You're
Well,
too
and
good to us,
Tiger.
Thronkill.
Tiger, I think that your Rocky was great. And the thing is, and the reason I bring it up is because one of the things that I really like about this show is that Rocky and Bullwinkle are very different characters. Obviously, Rocky is the brains of the operation as observed by Boris and Natasha, but there's never any competition or animosity between Rocky and Bullwinkle. They are best friends. And it does perpetuate the story. It's like, we're going on adventures. Okay. And it's like, good, great, super.
They're both optimists, and even though Rocky is very intelligent, he's also pretty naive too. So he goes along with a lot of things that's how they're fooled by Boris and Natasha so often, despite his intelligence and sometimes Bullwinkle surprises. You know, he's very witty too. And
Not on
hello
purpose.
to no Kevin.
still
Hello
witty.
to Kevin. Uh-huh.
Hey, Kevin.
Shashi's got to go to bed. Thank you for making us
Sashi.
part of your bedtime. See you later. Now, both Underdog and Rocky and Bullwinkle were sponsored by General Mills, usually Cheerio commercials. Ooh.
Yeah, that was.
It's interesting they never got their own cereal, because almost every other single cartoon character did have their own cereal.
Yeah. But that was more
Yeah.
of an 80s thing.
No, 60s.
Really? Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
are you kidding? No, there were entire cartoon shows that were based on nothing but cereal boxes and vice versa.
I just remember Mr. T, Pac-Man, the gummy bears, and
Oh,
they
no,
had
this
the
is before your
the
time.
gummy berry cereal. Yeah, no, that would have been C3POs.
So Madman is here, just stopping by to say hi. He's working on breaking news. It's great to see you. Thank you for dropping by. And so,
Hey.
so this is the first time I've ever had to do this. Where I've always thought of doing it, where I break up everything and put like things together, but you have to do it for Rocky and Bullwinkle. So we're looking at all the intros right now, and this is obviously Rocky going through the city landscape, and so this is the all I'm just gonna go through the intros. You know what they are. And,
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually found another intro again today while I was researching that I hadn't seen in a while, which I think was the intro for the original show, which was all of them on a rolling steam calliope. And that's,
Oh.
yeah, and that one's kind of rare. And then one of the hilarious things too is that when NBC took the show, they really wanted the focus to be on Bullwinkle, and I think they changed the name from Rocky and Bullwinkle to the Bullwinkle Show. And they had a whole new opening segment where Bullwinkle is in lights on a stage, and he's got the top hat and tails on and gold, and he's high kicking, like a big, production number. And so that was, again, they were parodying themselves at that point,
And
as well as
obviously-
NBC.
And obviously, since I only ever watched it in syndication since it was the 90s,
Right.
I've only ever seen these intros, so I haven't seen those
So
yet.
it's worth looking for
Yeah.
the other ones, because, again, the self-parody is just kind of, it just keeps
There's
going.
so many. There's so many of these intros. This is the last one, I think.
Yeah, I had to check something because my memory told me something different than what somebody said. They didn't have their own cereal, but they did advertise other cereals. Because I remember getting a Rocky and Bullwinkle like in a cereal box,
Oh, sure.
but they
Yeah.
did those commercials for Sugar Jets and Wheaties.
Oh, they did
And
lots
the-
and lots of commercials.
Yeah.
They just didn't, they never had their own
Their
image
own,
on a
yeah.
box, which is kind of, that's what you really kind of want to see.
Yeah. Well, kids want to see. Like they convinced parents to feed their children little chocolate chip cookies for breakfast. How crazy is that?
I don't know.
Cookie crisps. Yeah, I got
The funny thing
that,
is
the
when you
heck
go
out of
and you
that.
look on the nutritional value of pretty much any cereal box you find in the supermarket, it doesn't matter whether it looks healthy. It doesn't matter whether it's a sugar-coated sugar bomb. The nutritional information is all the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, even if you think you're
just
eating
enjoy
healthy,
your cereal.
Yeah,
Just
like-
enjoy your cereal.
yeah, like cornflakes is still all sugar too, even though it's not obviously.
It's just it's amazing.
Yeah.
There's very few exceptions.
If it
to that.
doesn't have sugar, you add the sugar anyway.
True that.
And so after that, okay, so we've also got the main story cereal. So I cut it all together so that we're not going to be breaking it up into all the pieces.
Oh, cool.
So
Excellent.
because if I broke it up, this would need to be like a 16-hour live stream. This is it is so.
I really
it
would,
is
man.
so-
While I was watching these, I'm like, I don't know how Jill's going to bring this in under 5 hours. We've got to focus. Focus.
Yeah. We got to focus. But here, because of that, I only did a full review for the first segment, and after that, or the first two segments, and after that, we're just gonna have the main story plot
Hooray!
explained.
Fight Club.
This is-
Fight Club.
Yeah, because it's 40 episodes. We're doing 20 of them today, and so yes, but also this is the introductory storyline. So we also are introduced to all of these characters and all of the ways that all the themes of the show, and all the humor and all the fun stuff. And so it is called jet fuel formula, even though we are dealing with rocket fuel. And
I noticed that. That's interesting. The disparity. Because they do just call it rocket fuel in every episode. I don't think they ever use the word jet, which is funny. And yet the title is jet fuel. That's funny.
So scientists are here at the observatory to prove there's no life on the moon. They look at the moon and see two moon creatures. Oh my goodness, where's my... Oh. Is that the way it's supposed to be? I think I might have deleted a couple of slides that I shouldn't have deleted, because I was trying to delete some things.
This is back to the bumper. Now this is from the episode.
Yeah, moon men to invade US. Yeah, so I missed the part where Rocky is standing there with his little flags saying, "Ready or not, here we come." And Dorson Bell says, this is not a ploy. I repeat, not a ploy. Please feel free to panic. But it's a Dorson Bells instead of Orson Welles, of course, from War of the Worlds broadcast, the War of the Worlds broadcast. And so then eventually the rocket ship will crash and everybody's panicking. Oh, there he is. There's Dorson Bells. He is. And so, yeah, so the rocket ship crashes, and Rocky and Bullwinkle explain they're not moon people. They've accidentally created a revolutionary new rocket fuel using Bullwinkle's grandmother's old recipe for a quick rising cake. And so
it's fudge cake, isn't it?
So yeah, turning the ordinary into something outlandishly absurd is wonderful.
It's so warped, their sense of humor, you can't help but be instantly drawn to it.
Yeah, and they had to go to the moon to get their oven, because the oven went to the moon. Sure,
yes,
we still
because
got
it was a 3-layer
cake.
It was.
Yeah, they got a whole round trip.
Yeah, they got a whole round trip from it.
And yeah, but the only thing that's weird is that when we do see the Moonman's recipe later, it doesn't really make sense that that's also the grandmother's cake recipe. I'm sure she doesn't use light bulbs in her cakes.
Well, I'm sure it's elements of all of these various things. But yeah, the Moonman's recipe has lots of horror movie references.
Oh, okay. When we get there, you got to tell me, because we're going to get there. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, there goes the oven on the moon. Beautiful. And of course, Rocky can create a rocket ship. And then we meet Boris and Natasha. Boris is a lot taller the first time we meet him.
And has the red eyes.
You'll notice it's two generals, and then the rich guy from Monopoly. Like, even so, the commentary is subtle, but it's there. Like,
yeah, the evolution of the characters just in these first 10 episodes is really amazing. How they change.
Yeah,
particularly
he gets
Boris
shorter.
And Natasha.
And they start off with the same thing of whether or not they need to kill Bullwinkle or not, and that's always
they're never clear on that, because their orders keep changing.
And they can't do anything without the orders, and so they've got to do what they're told, because their analogy, the Cold War Soviet analogy there, but without actually explicitly saying it, but everybody knows it.
Well, you don't even find out until episode 10 that they're from, or episode 9 that they're from Pottsylvania.
Right. Pottsylvania. But it's like, yeah, it's definitely Cold War stuff.
Yeah. Totes.
And the bureaucracy of having to get orders before you take an action.
Well,
And
and also
so-
I do like how Rocky and Bullwinkle get embroiled in this international conspiracy and espionage because of an accidental cake recipe.
Right. Yeah,
And
it wasn't
Rocky
on
and Bullwinkle are
purpose.
put in charge of guided mussels.
Yeah, suddenly
Never
they're
got old for me.
Mm.
suddenly they're scientists. They're instant scientists. Rocky and
Yes.
Bullwinkle. And so they're trying to, Boris and Natasha are trying to get the recipe, but they can't. So they're just like, okay, we're just gonna blow them up. And but the
Well-
door is locked, and so that's that's where that's the first cliffhanger.
So good. So good.
Mm.
I adore the fact we're going to find out whether, and we're going to prove that there is no life on the moon. Well, there's life on the moon.
Yeah, that's my first laugh too. So then in the next one, so this is Bullwinkle's Ride or Goodbye Darling.
I love the alternate titles as well.
Right. And so because the recipe was torn apart, Bullwinkle knows how much but not what of, so they have to work in the government laboratory to rediscover the initial discovery. And so Boris and Natasha fail to get that recipe, so she's locked in the room. She's trying to get out, and Bullwinkle is slowly going through all these keys. I wonder what key will open this door. Until she just throws it out the window, and ends up, of course, blowing up Boris. And it's all great. It's all wonderful stuff.
Well, and I love, and that's, I know that in modern Looney Tunes, it's like, well, we can't give Elmer Fudd a gun. Like, we can't. It's just not right. It inspires handling weapons. And it's like, I love how there's a little bit more freeness with the, or freedom with the slapstick comedy, because, kids are smart enough to know that you don't jump out of buildings, you don't blow things up. It's just funny.
Right. It's just cartoon violence. There's nothing wrong with cartoon violence.
Yeah. Is this the one? Is this where Captain Peach Fuzz is reading a Peabody comic?
Yes, eventually. Eventually we'll get to that. But my favorite is the name of this university. Heck with you. Okay.
No, there's a lot of stuff that is like just visual gags, and even the visual gags are brimming with wit.
Actually, my favorite part of this particular segment is that now grandmothers are the most sought after advisors for government agencies everywhere.
Whistler's mother.
Yeah, they've suddenly become very powerful and influential. It's adorable. And so then we get the cliffhanger for this one is, of course, our alien moon men holding up Rocky and Bullwinkle. And so then we get the name of the next episode.
Destination Moose.
Yes. Bullseye Bullwinkle or Destination Moose. And all of these are all references to things, and I don't know what those they are. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know that one. Destination Moon. But I don't know all of them.
Yeah, a lot of the references are contemporary, so over time they become more distant from the popular culture. But I think they were very effective at the time.
Well, I think there's even there's even some vernacular that isn't necessarily a reference or anything. But when I saw the Aesop and Son, and it's like, no matter what, if you want to be king, you're eventually going to be crowned, and that's not something that shows up in modern parlance.
Yeah, or something like Squeeze Play, which is we know what that is, an invitation to the trance as opposed to dance. There are a lot of puns and wordplay stuff too, but it's just also clever.
There is some reference to the slang of the era, and I love that they need to go to a scientist to translate it.
Oh yeah, that's great with the like sort of boffo. It's like, oh, we got to get this translated.
So my only problem with this particular slide is that if Rocky had the recipe, wouldn't he remember? He would remember.
Well, it's Bullwinkle's grandma's, so Rocky didn't grow up with it.
It looks
And Rocky-
fairly
Yeah,
simple. 3
What?
ingredients.
Well, and Rocky didn't make the cake. Rocky was just waiting for Bullwinkle to make the cake.
True.
Can Rocky read? Is that
Yes,
canonical?
Of course,
Okay.
Rocky
Yes.
can read.
Well,
Yes.
Everybody could read back then.
Back then.
Yeah, well, it ain't the
okay.
same anymore, I've heard.
no, it is not.
Yes, within canon, he can read. He reads signs, misdirections
yeah,
from
yeah.
Boris and Natasha that tell him to go the wrong way, and he goes the wrong way because the sign tells him to.
Yeah, these days Rocky graduated college and still can't read. So
Oh no!
What was it?
Well,
Bullwinkle went to
yeah.
MIT,
That's right.
the Moose Institute of
Yeah.
tap dancing or something. Toe dancing.
Yeah, so here's our moon men. I love the sounds, the 1950s science fiction sounds we get from them. And so they want to stop Bullwinkle from recreating the formula because they don't want tourists on the moon. And so they've been sent to stop moon tourism.
yeah, I mean, who does want them? Like,
Well, and it's fun to hear the training that they had to go through in order to be able to get to Earth. It's like we had to learn how to breathe smog. We had to figure out how to dodge traffic. So doing better than other aliens.
And take a bath. And the only thing they do enjoy is scrooching people, which of course means to freeze, but we have to wait a little while to learn that.
Yes.
But I'm telling you now. And their names Gidney and Cloyd, and so they there it is right there. They also learned how to deal with smog. So there's a smog chamber here to simulate.
That's
living in a
got
city.
That's got to be a reference of going between San Francisco and Los Angeles. It's just like I had to learn how to deal with smog.
Mhm. And so since they learned that they don't know the recipe, like they can't recreate it now, they leave them alone for now. And Boris learns from Natasha that he's supposed to kill the moose, so he drops the safe. But then that's when we get the next cliffhanger, and when we come back from the cliffhanger, she says, "Oh, wait a second. Oh, it says do not kill her." Oopsie daisy. And so
Yes,
Okay,
with the
so
disappearing ink.
yeah, and
Yeah.
of course we also start the running gag that goes throughout the series of Boris and Natasha having disguises that fool Rocky and Bullwinkle, but everybody at home knows who they are. And so
Haven't I
there's
seen you
lots of
somewhere before?
Yeah, has everybody tried
Yes.
that, the disappearing ink trick with lemon juice? I know I did.
With
when I
lemon
was a
juice, yeah.
kid.
yes.
Yeah.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Swami Ben Boris, or Sir Thomas Lippin Boris, or Sir Hilary Pushamoff.
And this is my associate, Brenda. It's like
Or-
like Natasha never has an elaborate name. It's just a girl's name, and she's just like,
Yeah.
oh, because again, Natasha's the brains of that operation.
My favorite is let me introduce myself. I am a scientist.
Larry is here. And of course, Larry
Larry.
always has the avatar of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh yeah.
Bullwinkle and J.
Oh, I think Clarence Daronov is my favorite.
That's
I
nice.
am
Yeah.
Clarence Daronov.
J.
Famous
Ward.
famous lawyer.
Mm. And there was also a continuation of the serial chat in the chat, which is great. I think raisins are making yeah,
Do
an
not kill
appearance.
moose.
Yeah. So these episodes are the squeeze play or invitation to the trance. and, and so, yeah. So now it's do not kill moose. So he has to run down the stairs to stop the safe from crushing our heroes. So he gets crushed. That's great.
Did you
And
guys ever see? Did you
she
guys ever
says,
see the movie?
"You're alive. This is living." The movie.
Yeah.
The one with Robert De Niro and Rene Russo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
did.
no, but
Parabo.
Don't remember it very well.
my favorite part of that movie is when De Niro is quoted to say, "I only did it for the money," and I'm like, "You humorless ass! Of course you didn't." Whereas Rene
No.
Russo was
Yeah.
incredibly reverential towards it, and even asked for to do an impersonation at a table reading. She's like, "Let me hear the voice." Like
But
it's like
that's-
night and day their attitudes.
No, but that, and also I hate to correct you. Like it is Robert De Niro that had that movie made. He was the one who was the executive producer. He was the one who did the blood, sweat, and tears to bring it to the big screen. Without his name attached to Rocky and Bullwinkle, it never would have been made. And that's part of the reason that he plays Fearless Leader, is because he wanted to do it the most out of everyone.
Well, he certainly didn't. That didn't come across in all the interviews.
Well, that's probably because it was a horribly reviewed film. But I do really like it. In fact, he even pokes fun at his own, like he does the taxi driver monologue in one of the scenes where he's like, "Are you talking to me? I am the only one here." I don't know why I'm French, but like he does a really good job at it. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to revisit it, because I got the trailer in the algorithm and I started reading about it and I was like, should I revisit this? And it's like, despite its horrible reviews, despite its horrible audience reaction, he was the one who wanted Rocky and Bullwinkle, the movie, to take place. And so I was I was kind of taken by it. And yeah, no, his political views are insufferable, but I am a big fan of, I'll pay attention to what happens on screen. I don't really have to listen to TMZ.
Yeah, well, from what I read, it was in development with Universal, and Danny DeVito wanted to be that. He was only brought in on the project several years later. So I don't think he did actually spearhead this movie.
Well, either way, there was a collaboration, and I know that he was not necessarily ashamed of the work until after other people said it was bad.
Well, that may be, but yeah, pre-production started in 92 and he didn't get involved until 98. So,
well, and the movie was written by Jay Ward, co-written. Like there's a lot of good stuff in there. It is fluff, and I think it is more made for kids. And it is sort of that pop culture jukebox movie.
Yeah, they did get Tribeca involved eventually, which is probably where De Niro's part comes in, but it wasn't originally, that wasn't originally the case. There was also a lot of lawsuits that really held it back. So,
but if you haven't seen it,
Larry mentions Fearless Leader had a German accent, so you weren't too far from it, Scotty.
Well,
and that is a really good observation. That
yeah,
Fearless Leader was a German.
Yeah, not Russian. Yeah.
Yes.
On one of these days,
more terrifying because he's a leftover.
Oh, and Phantom Outsider does correct all of us on this particular instance. No, it was a Pennsylvanian accent.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That they tried not to have any specific accent, but definitely, Larry is also correct that that's sort of what you're supposed to think of. That's what it invokes. And so, even though, yes, they're all Pennsylvanian. And so Bullwinkle, we missed the part where they were baking.
He sounds Pennsylvania Dutch.
they were baking a bunch of cakes. None of them were exploding. And so now Bullwinkle's being hypnotized to see if that'll help him remember the recipe. And of course, Boris is doing the hypnotizing, and suddenly Bullwinkle explaining his entire life story, including my favorite part, his experiences in the army, where he served 3 years as a hat rack.
Yes. In the officers club.
Yes.
So didn't Keith Scott, he's the one who wrote the book about the making of Bullwinkle, didn't he? He eventually Bill Scott was the Fearless Leader's voice, and then eventually Keith Scott, a voice actor and author, also ended up doing that voice.
Yeah. And so Rocky does say the recipe, but nobody's listening because they've all fallen asleep to his stories. And so there's that, and that's when the Moonmen feel like they can. That they oh yeah, that's right. It wasn't nobody who was listening. The Moonmen were listening. Right. And so now they Scrooge the moose because he knows the recipe, right?
Oh yes.
The Scrooged Moose.
There's
Or
another. Or yeah, I'm trying to look for the or. Oh, there is no or. I guess that's it.
Frozen in Bullwinkle.
And so
The Moon Uber Alice. I have to go back and watch this again now.
Well, and that's the thing. It's so full tilt boogie for approximately
Progress is our least important product.
Yes.
And that
And
was a big slogan for one of the companies back then. Not Monsanto, but another one that was kind of like an idea company. You would hear that all
yeah.
the time. Progress is
Yeah.
our most important product. Like that really means something.
Yeah, for Monsanto, I believe evil was their most important product. That's
Well, but
that used to be on the billboards.
Cornell.
So Boris makes off with Bullwinkle in his popsicle state, and they don't know if they Scrooged him for 8 hours or for 8 years. So they're gonna have to wait and see what happens there. Oh,
I
yeah.
know that was one of your favorite
Yes,
slides, just with
it is.
with Rocky
It is.
doing math.
You're right. To figure out how to get out from being kidnapped, or also Scrooge too. Like he is, and he comes up with a way to convince them that, hey, no, we're here to throw you a party. We're going to honor you. The world wants to exalt you, and these Moonmen are actually very, very taken with that kind of thing, and they're very easily persuaded to become Earthlings, and so they fit in pretty well.
I love that thought bubble. Was that AX
Yes.
divided by BE equals X?
Yeah, I love that too. It's great. And the
And
gears
that's-
and the geometry.
Light
I don't-
bulb.
It's not something that it's not something we've lost recently. Like I would say within the last 15, 20 years, we've lost it. There used to be that sort of subversion in terms of, yeah, let's make fun of the corporations, make fun of the corporate overlords and business. They're everywhere, and their slogans seep into day-to-day life. And that used to be something that it was everywhere. It was like, oh yeah, like even the Simpsons used to do it. They used to do it on Looney Tunes. They used to do it in any number of comedic entertainment platforms. And now, and I'm specifically thinking of like audio commentaries on DVDs where they would say, oh, and this is why this didn't work, or we couldn't do this because of network notes and things like that. And we used to hear about that all the time. And in the last 15 years, 20 years, it's like, don't say anything bad about the corporation. Don't say anything bad. And it's like, and that sort of subversion, I think is part of what I miss most. Is we've lost that level of, I wouldn't even say punk rock, but I'm going to say punk rock is where we used to say, stick it to the man. And now it's like, no, don't get mad at Nanny. And we've been conditioned to just accept what travels downhill towards us.
Yeah, Jill, did you notice the gun was a movie camera when on the thought bubble slide? It was just a movie camera turned backwards. Like,
No, I didn't notice that.
well, you
I
can
wanna
see
see
it in
that.
that one right there too. It's not quite as obvious, but
Interesting. Well, I'm gonna go back to the thought bubble because that is one, like Scotty said, one of my favorite.
yeah. See, it's a backwards movie camera.
True.
Nice. Okay, that's pretty cool. It freezes you. That's their design, the moon design for their ray gun. Their freeze ray gun,
Fruit
and of
ray.
course, after 8 hours, Bullwinkle comes out of it, and now he's working for unknowingly working for Boris. He's just like, "Oh, I'm your new assistant," and so he gets back to work without a question. And it's all being transmitted back to Pennsylvania, and so he's saying what he's putting in there, and it's just like, "Oh, this is just a recipe. What's going on?" And so Bullwinkle gets embarrassed and picks up a chemistry book and just randomly starts choosing words out of nowhere. And so on the other side, they're copying what Bullwinkle's doing. And so the scientist is like, "What? Mix that with that? That doesn't seem right." But he does it anyway under threat.
But it actually succeeds, is what my favorite part is that he doesn't know what's going on, and so he's just trying to use the most scientific words, and he does make the thing that blows them up and sends them into the atmosphere. So he did kind of do it, but not on his end.
His table looks astonishingly similar to my high school chemistry class work table. Like, it really does.
Yeah. But what Bullwinkle makes is not the explosives that he described, but some yummy fudge cake that Rocky can smell. And so he walks over the Washington Monument for some reason. Not around it.
Yeah, every episode of Rocky and Bullwinkle is a road trip. They're always on the move.
Yes. Well, and speaking of on the move, Rocky's just fallen for a trap, and he's going to, going to take a hot air balloon ride.
Stand
Over the
here,
sea.
pull rope.
These are just fun. Yeah. And scientists vanish. You're right. Okay, they're looking for them. And everybody's looking except for the governor because it's not moose hunting season. And the moon men are looking everywhere, and they say, "Oh, your relatives are here again."
And that's
What, Halloween already? All of the
Yeah.
knock on the door jokes. I love that where his feet are off.
Yeah. And so Boris goes with that gag that since Rocky had promised a party, he throws them a party, a pretend party.
Well, and yes, because they wanted paper hats and noisemakers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and also Punch. They intend to knock them out, but as we see later, it doesn't work so well. And of course, they end this particular cliffhanger with the hot air balloon falling into the sea. The submarine squirrel are 20,000 leagues beneath the sea, just to make you think, "Oh no, did Rocky drown?" Of course he didn't drown. This is like the next thing we see him leap from there, and that's fine. Of course he's great at flying, or not really flying. He glides. He doesn't fly.
He glides. Yeah.
He glides.
At this
But
point
the
in his
real
his
problem-
evolution, he glides.
Yeah.
But
the
they
real
never-
problem here is the US government starts shooting at him. And so how does he save himself is definitely one of the bigger laughs that I had for this one. He starts spelling out words in the sky. And it says, US taxpayer.
Yeah.
That's a joke for the dads for sure.
Absolutely.
Every one of them we can get.
And then that's also, sort of family viewing where the kid says, Dad, what's a taxpayer? Then all of a sudden it's a 3-hour diatribe as to tax law to your 6-year-old.
It's true. Well, yeah, and that's good education.
Yeah.
And the drink it actually peps up the Martian. I mean, not Martians, Moonmen.
Moonman.
Moonmen, yep. And, oh,
Bars and
right.
stripes forever.
Right, and Boris and Natasha pass out because Rocky makes a toast to crime. Or who makes a toast to crime? Was it Rocky?
Bullwinkle does. Bullwinkle does.
It was Bullwinkle. It was
For no reason.
for no reason, right? It's just like to crime.
To crime. Yeah.
And so, yes. Bars and stripes forever.
Like, but that's the
that's
thing. Like,
cool.
and at watching this, because it is so dynamic and fast paced, no
Yeah,
backgrounds a lot of the time.
Yeah, it really is like a James Bond movie. You go from flying to underwater to another country to it's it's so honest.
Suddenly we're in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And
Well,
one
they
of the
had to-
government agents gets scrooched. So for
He got
50
Scrooged.
years. For 50 years. And so he gets painted.
I wonder
Statue.
when the vernacular for getting screwed, oh, you're screwed, as a negative thing, when that sort of occurred.
I think it's been around at least a very long
ages.
time. Yeah,
Ages.
They definitely were referring to that. I think that was not an accident.
Yeah,
and to
like
swing
at
it by
least
the-
World War II at the very least.
And to swing it by the censors, scrooched. Well, it just means that
Well,
they get
scrooch
frozen.
is a word.
Is it?
Yeah, scrooch down.
I thought it was scooch,
Scrooch.
like scooch down on a bench.
Also scrooch, I think. They're both kind of the same word.
All right, maybe
I'm
it's
wrong
regional.
about it.
Don't forget, I'm Canadian. We don't have such
yeah.
words up here. We can't afford
Oh.
ours.
Yeah, Webster said earlier idioms such as screw up, screwed over as early as 1940. So
Okay.
Larry says J. Ward family owns the rights to Rocky and Bullwinkle, consisting of J. Ward's daughter and granddaughter.
And in case anybody's interested, as a term meaning intercourse, it's documented as early as 1725.
Oh my. It's been a while
Wow.
since I've been scrooched.
Okay, so the Moonmen become very popular. They get a key to the city and
It's so ridiculous.
they're followed around by paparazzi. And they want to go home.
Yes, they're tired of the
And-
fame.
Yeah, so they're going to take Rocky and Bullwinkle with them because they know too much. Or at least
They're afraid
Bullwinkle's-
that Bullwinkle's going to make the rocket fuel, and they can't have the rocket fuel on Earth because they still don't want the tourists.
And there's a certain point where they forget about that. But first they try to go, but no, they're out of fuel. They can't leave. Because Boris and Natasha have stolen their fuel.
Hello out there, or there's no place like space.
Yeah, and when we come back down because there's no fuel, and Boris and Natasha stole it. And so now the Moonmen just have to tell Rocky and Bullwinkle the recipe because now they're stranded. They don't want to be stranded. So if they got to get back home, now it's all over. There's no choice, apparently. So there's just one thing they need is mooseberry juice, which grows just in one place in all the nation, and where it just happens to be Rocky and Bullwinkle's hometown of Frostbite Falls, Minnesota. Population 23.
Well,
And,
and as Tiger said, as Bullwinkle said, you can buy the whole place for $8 cash.
mhm. So. Oh, and
About
here's
to be
the
population 21.
right. Here's those books that you guys were talking about before, where it says "Sex on Planet X" right there.
Yeah. I have no idea how that happened. Like, you couldn't have Fred and Wilma in the same bed, but you could have sex on Planet X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you couldn't have Ricky and Lucy in the same bed either. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, look, the fearless leader changed again. He's been changing a bunch. Now he's like this. Later on, he's going to get an eye patch.
This character actually has a different title.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, this isn't the
believe.
fearless leader. You're right. This is the captain.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks like the character design.
Yes,
And
they're
so
kind
it
of
made me
refining
forget.
it as they go, but he's not actually fearless leader.
Yeah,
yet.
that's right. That's right. He's just
This
a
is-
captain of some kind.
yeah, he's the
Well,
sub
Thank you.
Yeah.
A commandant or something like that.
In the first 10 episodes, I do not believe I heard the title Fearless Leader.
Yeah, they do use it.
I feel like I heard it at least once.
But
but
Not
they're
enough to
definitely
drive it
referring
home.
to him in the third person. He's not present.
It seems like he is there's obviously maybe I missed it. But I never saw the design of Fearless Leader that I recognize in the same way that I do later on.
Not in these first 10 episodes, no.
Thank you.
but it does exist.
And they do make the referral, I believe. I do believe they refer to fearless leader.
Yeah. So the submarine's here, and they just leave the fuel on the submarine. They're just like, this can self-pilot itself back home to Pennsylvania. That's not a problem.
And
Yeah.
that's go ahead.
Look at the difference between the design of the characters at this point versus in the first episode. It's just amazing how quickly it was changing. Somebody was giving the animators direction.
Well, and I think that they're less scary in the subsequent episodes after the first one. Like the first
Right.
ones look really
Well,
sinister,
maybe-
and this one's they're a little goofier.
Well, making the eyes not red helps with that, I think.
Yep.
And,
A creep.
And there was some shadows and more black under the eyes and all this.
Yeah,
A
and
creep in the deep.
that's
Will
always the
success spoil boys, I don't know.
that's always the case with animation. If you go back and look at the first Simpsons episode or the first Flintstones episode, there's always it takes them a couple eps to smooth out the edges. There's definitely that early installment weirdness going on.
Cam is here. Hello, Cam.
Hey, Cam.
This show was always a gem. Watching early mornings before school as a kid is a fond memory. I did the same thing. Yeah.
Cam.
Yep. If
I
I
feel
woke
like
up
such a-
early enough. Yeah.
I feel like such a simple boy having discovered this in my 40s.
Do most people even realize this was a primetime show? Like this was 8 o'clock at night, like on a network.
It was, yeah. So I used to watch, when you say it was on Sundays at night, that's how I used to watch The Simpsons. It was on Sundays at night. But for me, Rocky Bullwinkle is more in the morning, early in the morning. I'd have to wake up early to watch it. It was worth it though. When I found, oh, I'm up at 5 a.m. Well, it's time to wait an hour or so and watch Rocky Bullwinkle. It's great.
See, that's when I was watching Droids and Ewoks. That was the time that I had to get up to watch Droids and Ewoks.
So,
Do you suppose people
oh, there it
today
is.
Yeah, that's the recipe that makes references to things in horror films.
Okay,
Tana leaves are
please.
from The Mummy. Wolfbane, of course, is from The Wolfman.
A quarter cup of, or 3/4 cup of light bulbs. Nice.
Frog legs.
Quart of chalk.
Yeah, wolfsbane is from Dracula too. It's one of the things that keeps vampires away. So a quart of chalk.
Stink berries. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Well, who's ever heard of a schnozberry?
You're conflating
Well,
your berries.
I am conflating berries.
Well, they're
That
going
berry.
to Frostbite Falls.
Is that a euphemism? Conflating berries?
Yes.
No.
No.
You fool, go back and keel moose. They never say kill. They always say keel.
Yes, Kiel moose and skirl.
Keel.
That's
And-
probably another one of those censorship things. Like in terms of standards and practices, you can't say kill in a cartoon. You have to say kill.
Oh, that's not. That still happens. There's the show where they, there's a current show where they find out like the sharpest and toughest swords, and they say like, but can it kill? Because even they on the cable show they can't really say kill. Will the sword kill? So
Well, you know what Kiel is supposed to stand for?
No.
In the context of that particular show, it stands for keep everyone alive. Yes.
Interesting.
Ace is wild, or the flying casket.
Well done. Yeah, so we've got Ace, Rick, and Boris. And yeah, so they're going to fly Rocky Bullwinkle. They're supposed to go to Frostbite Falls. Uh-oh, what was that? Oh, they're also offered some drinks, some hot beverages. Is that this one?
Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
just gee, here, have a soda.
Yeah, that looks refreshing. I like the skull and crossbones telling me this is totally safe to drink.
Pan-galactic gargle blasters.
Mm. Oh yeah, and when they see that it falls to the ground and they ask, "Do you want a refill?" It and Bullwinkle says, "Well, maybe half a cup."
But then they come back in the next episode, and the hole in the at the floor of the plane is gone. The entire continuity is ruined. There is no truth in this art.
I think some of that is on purpose because of the absurdist nature of the show. Is
Always making
the
excuses.
idea of continuity on Rocky and Bullwinkle is not.
So is it canon? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I dig the little seaside town though. That's very like a European Mediterranean seaside town.
Oh,
It
you're
is,
gonna
but
find-
don't get too attached to it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Yeah,
It's like Alderaan.
Okay, I think this is supposed to be Fearless Leader. So right now, obviously his design's going to change a lot.
Well, it might be something like a couple of the fearless leaders get dispatched throughout the course of the history of Rocky and Bullwinkle until we get the most successful, unsuccessful fearless leader.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I don't miss it though. Natasha reminds me of General Koa on Flash Gordon, says Old Man Bird. Wow, okay. Old Man Bird's here. Great to see you.
Hey, old man bird. Yeah. I hope someday they once again make a live action Rocky and Bullwinkle or Boris and Natasha. So far, we've had Renee Russo and Sally Kellerman in live action play Natasha. And so maybe someday.
I don't know how I feel about making live action of cartoons.
Well, luckily, Rocky and Bullwinkle are not live action in the movie. But there have been a couple of adaptations.
That pretty court city's all gone.
It's gone. Phantom Outsider says Hanna-Barbera World of the Super Funtastic, Animated Fantastic Voyage and Journey to the Center of the Earth, Space Giants, Battle of the Planets, G-Force Speed Racer, and more. Is that in terms of live action?
No, well, some of those are those are animated, and I had all but forgotten about G-Force, which is funny. That's I think that's originally a Japanese anime that got dubbed for American consumption.
Yeah, I think it was
Similar to
Battle of the
Battle of the
Planets.
Planets. Oh, G-Force is Battle of the Planets. Okay, I thought
For
they
the
were
North
different
American
shows.
adaptation, I think. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Well, Boris was sabotaging the plane. He was going to just leave them there to die, but then he's given orders to save them. So he gives Bullwinkle his parachute.
Yeah, the running gag with contradicting orders is just
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's good. What is it? A gag. Yeah. June Foray did Natasha's voice. She's all over Looney Tunes cartoons also, yes.
But frequently uncredited in Looney Tunes.
Oh,
Which is criminal.
uncredited. That's
Frequently.
not good.
Well,
Yeah.
eventually they came around, but it took a decade.
Oh no, Jamie says that Rocky Bullwinkle was on Me TV Tunes, but they took it off for some reason.
Well, I think they only get the license for these things for a particular amount of time. And then, they buy something else to put on the air. And then when that's kind of run its course, then they'll put it back on again, probably.
And next we have the Backseat Divers or Mashed Landing. And there we are. Yep. What we need is a good cut rate pilot. And then Boris appears. Yes. There he is.
Yet that's something you never ever hear on an airplane, by the way. What we need is a good cut rate pilot.
Yeah. And Boris says, I'm on every $3 bill the government makes. I've never seen a $3 bill. So I'm just looking at some random quotes that aren't necessarily on the screen right now because I collected some of those. And so, of course, they're in the tree. Boris and Tasha are in their tree. And they're going to follow him. Oh, and there's the island, but they can't. The mooseberries are blighted, so they're infected. So you can't collect the mooseberries here. So that's disappointing. And so they have to find a mooseberry bush. And Bullwinkle has a plan to do it. He's just gonna backpedal and he's gonna go get one and he's gonna come back. But then he forgot he doesn't know how to swim. And so that's a big hiccup. Bullwinkle's water follies or antlers away. And so instead of anchors away, that one I get. And so we've got to save Bullwinkle because he's drowning right now. There's always we're going through all of these. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's got an order to kill, but he can't remember if it's to kill or to save. And so he's got a stack of these. So he's going to connect with his boss to see what to do. But in the meantime, Rocky knows what to do. He's going to save. He's going to save him. He's going to fly in on the rope. And they find out they found a mooseberry bush. And yeah, they did save the moose, Jamie. Oh no. And this is just visual. Boris doesn't know about this, but they have a reception for him, and apparently he's going to be executed at this particular juncture. That's their idea. Oh, let's see. Oh, and there's the federal plant inspector. Outpost Nerd is here. Curse moose and squirrel. Wow, I never knew this was on at night in prime time. That boggles my mind, says Cam Cam. Must have been a pretty bold move for the... Oh, wait, it bounced off. Must have been a pretty bold move for the time. Have to see what it was up against.
It was up against Lassie.
Yeah. And it was even bolder when they discovered that the show made fun of everything else that was on in opposition to them.
It was the lead-in for Disney. So, and I think the thing that really inspired the networks is that the Flintstones was prime time and it was huge and everybody wanted a Flintstones. So that's probably what they were going for.
But when did the Flintstones come out?
I think
That
the
wasn't
late
until-
50s, like 59, 60.
There were black and white episodes. You could be correct, yeah.
Oh, and there were a lot of humor that went over the kids' heads that adults liked, especially Aesop and Son, Peabody, Backstreet Fairy Tales. We're going to get to those soon. I'm just going through the main story arc first. The Inspector Detector or A Kick in the Plants is the next one.
Yeah, the Flintstones first aired in 1960.
And he said, I think it was on at 7 p.m. and Batman had a 7 p.m. start.
Well, Batman wasn't until 66. Well, at least the live action. The Bill Dozier.
The first episode of the Flintstones had Betty and Wilma smoking.
Well, yeah, they were smoking.
Are you gonna play it?
Oh, I could play it if you want to. I know that some people don't like this commercial, so.
But it is a commercial. It's not within the context of the show itself, I don't believe.
Right. It's just a commercial. There.
They sure work hard, don't they, Barney?
Yeah? I hate to see them work so hard.
Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see him.
Gee, we ought to do something, Fred.
Okay? How's about taking a nap?
Hey, I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break.
That's it! Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend.
Yeah, Fred. Filter blend makes the big taste difference, and only Winston has it up front where it counts. Here, ahead of the pure white filter. Winston packs rich tobaccos specially selected and specially processed for good flavor in filter smoking.
Yeah, Barney, Winston tastes good, like cigarette should.
The Flintstones has been brought to you by Winston, America's best-selling, best-tasting filter cigarette.
Winston tastes
Wow.
good like a cigarette should.
Oh, the jingles. Try to get that earworm out for the next week.
And oh, what heights will hit. Meanwhile, back at Frostbite Falls.
Yeah, Boris and Natasha are dressed up like Native Americans.
And there are a lot of those words.
They try to drop a tree on him, but it just ends up giving Rocky and Bullwinkle a mast for their makeshift boat that they made out of the crashed airplane. And so we start a boat race, and where Natasha has to do all the work, apparently.
Oh, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at that plane again with the... I'm just curious. That's just such a hoot.
I like the sort of dueling heroes and villains, and Boris is
stroke, bail.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And they hear each other coming and going, and at some point there's a long shot of each of them going by, and they're Dopplering. You know, they start soft and then get louder and then get soft again. The voice actors, it's a hoot.
Yeah. Were they playing
I do like the Doppler effect.
Were they playing the Bugs Bunny theme song at the end of the Flintstones
That was
commercial?
the original Flintstones theme, I believe, which was not the one that you think of. The first season or so of the Flintstones, they had a different theme and a different opening.
Well, it sounds remarkably similar to the Bugs Bunny, on the show, hit the lights. This is
Right.
it.
That's why
Yeah.
Scotty was singing it, but it's
Yeah,
different, I
yeah.
believe.
But then I realized that's Bugs Bunny, so those were two different companies. It just made me wonder what was going on with the music there. They're both Warner Brothers now, but Flintstones was originally Hanna-Barbera, right? And Bugs Bunny was at the time Looney Tunes.
Well, Looney Tunes was Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but which is not Hanna-Barbera, so that's why.
Right. Yeah. Totes. Bail.
Yeah, no matter, as long as there's just a little bit of water, they can somehow get through it.
The Tunnel of Love. Are there still tunnels of love? Is that
sure.
still
They
a
don't
thing?
call them that anymore. They're basically what is known as a dark ride. And there's still plenty of them. Yes. At almost every carnival has a dark ride.
Yeah, that is such a loaded question. I don't even.
Yeah. There are tunnels of love. Yes, is the answer. This is great with the soapboxes.
Oh, that reminds me. There was a joke I really loved earlier when you're first meeting the Moonman, and Rocky says something like, I forget what he says, but Bullwinkle says they were congressmen, and I just forget how it goes. But obviously, I killed it. But it was really cute. This reminded me of that.
But I do like that, and that's sort of the cliffhanger. That
Political expediency.
Yeah. But they go to and it's like, well, luckily they ended up in a soapbox factory. And these soapboxes had to be taken to Washington, D.C. for a re-election campaign because a senator or congressman needed these soapboxes so he could travel around the country to make speeches upon them. And it's like, that's funny. That's just good humor.
Yeah, and lots of fun character development, of course, learning that Boris is always a cheat.
Yes.
Everybody's mad at Rocky and Bullwinkle, so they throw everything at him, even the kitchen sink.
Farewell, my ugly.
Farewell,
or
my
nuts
ugly.
to you.
Yep. Yes. So they're able to, they find the Moon Man went to Las Vegas, but they have to translate it with the U.S. counterintelligence because they don't understand the lingo, the jargon of the day. And they're speaking that way too. They're calling him baby and all that. And Rocky's like, what? What are you talking to me like that for?
Well, and it is interesting just in terms of that sort of bridging between two eras, because they do get into sort of like beatnik jive talk in one of the Fractured Fairy Tales when it's Rumpelstiltskin. And really enjoy it because it does sort of signify a transition between sort of the 1950s and the 1960s as early as 1960. It's like the beatniks becoming more prevalent and using their vernacular. It's great. It's great.
It is. Cheerful, little peerful, or bon voyage.
Yes. Which again, like when I see Bon Voyage, the first thing that comes to my mind is The Incredibles and the name of the villain at the beginning of the movie. And I'm just like, I wonder if this was, and I would say, it may be an obvious pun, but I do think that Brad Bird probably got some inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're all going on a cruise, basically, an ocean liner.
Captain
And
Peter of Peach Fuzz.
right. They're trying to get to Pennsylvania to bring the plant there. Well, and he gives conflicting orders, and Rocky Bullwinkle almost gets squished right here. Summer squash, or he's too flat for me. There it is. Matt G's here. Matt G, hey.
Hey.
How are you doing today? Oh, okay. This is the scene where Peach Fuzz reads a Peabody comic. I don't know which slide it is though. But it happens somewhere here. Oh yeah, he was so happy. Today I killed moose and squirrel, but then he realized he didn't do it.
Now I
weather
must erase
continues-
whole page.
Yeah, now he has to erase the page. Obviously, I'm not saying all the jokes because that's the fun in watching the show. Everybody
It
needs to go
is.
watch this, and I didn't ruin most of them, so you can you can go watch it and have a great time. There's Mooseberry Bush. It's not doing too well.
Uncle Chumley.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the first half of the jet fuel story arc. It continues, and we'll get back to it maybe another day. And but for now.
But it is, and I know we have other segments to cover, and so I'm not trying to wind anything down. I just want to say that while again, the first time I watched these, I was very I was enjoying the greenery, if you will. And so this time I was watching it and I was making sure I was, focused. So what did I have? A big box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And I just ate cereal and watched cartoons for 3.5 hours. And it made me very, very happy.
Okay, and were you eating your Cinnamon Toast Crunch out of hand?
No. Bowls and milk.
Oh, no, out of hand. That's the best.
Oh,
Sugar
no, I'm
Pops.
sorry.
Sugar
I'm a
Pops.
traditionalist. I'm a
No,
traditionalist.
when you're a kid and you're watching your cartoons, it's just right out of the box. Some of them are better that way than others. Sugar Pops.
Well, remember you could get
Perfection.
like the Kellogg's mixer pack, and they had the
Sure.
little wax.
Oh yeah, no, they
the-
still make those.
and with the wax paper and everything, and so you could cut the box open and
Yes.
then open the wax
The
paper
flaps.
bag, and then you can pour the milk
eat
in.
right out of the
I was
box.
I'm always about the milk. Milk is what makes cereal tolerable.
Not all cereal you can eat out of hand, but some I like better just as a snack than other way. But I'm not a Cinnamon Toast Crunch person, so I thought that might
Oh
be
well,
one of them.
everybody has their brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like Winston's or Lucky Strikes or Camels, Marlboros.
Yeah. Cam says thanks. That was a great commercial I'd never seen.
Yeah, I
thank
love
you.
how it was offensive on multiple levels. Like,
Yes.
it just,
Was like, oh, the women are working. Let's go around the other side so we don't have to watch them.
Oh, there's still a lot of that in the world, so that kind of thing never ends.
Let's pay him 70 cents on the dollar, Bon.
And things are better now, but there's still a lot of feigned helplessness out there.
I thought it
If
was
I had a
just funny.
quarter
I
for
didn't-
every time some guy at work said, "Oh, I don't know how to make coffee,"
Yeah.
Dear.
I'd have a few bucks.
Oh, right. Or a sandwich.
Yes.
Oh, you don't know how to cook.
My
on the inverse, there is, I don't know how to make these TPS reports. So
Yes.
it does work both ways.
to this day, and my dad is 76. He's impressed whenever I do my own laundry. And I'm like, seriously, you had plenty of time.
Oh, I'm Scotty's father's age. Scotty, go to your room now.
Yeah, well, all right, get your own laundry done, old man. No, I kid.
Paula Beater Gamer is here. Hello, Paula Beater Gamer. Green herb spotted because I've been playing too much Resident Evil.
Oh, nice.
I've heard that new one really kicks butt. Everybody's raving about it.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too, man. Everybody seems to.
Larry is mentioning Mr. Know-It-All. We haven't gotten one of those segments in these first 10 episodes
Yeah,
yet.
I know. I was really looking forward to that, but the first 10 episodes like Jill just said, there's no Mr. Know-It-All yet. There's lots of poetry corner, which the kids don't know from anymore. When we were kids, we had to learn poems and read them. And that's one of the things that makes me a little sad now is things like nursery rhymes. I don't think the kids know nursery rhymes at all anymore. You know, when I was a kid, they would give you a book of them to read. So you would learn them because they're very simple and repetitive. And a lot of them are tiny history lessons. And I don't think the kids know any of that anymore.
Oh, I don't think they're required to remember anything anymore. There's no memorization work in school, and we had to do it with poems, with songs, with plays, with
multiplication tables.
Yeah, paragraph. Yeah,
math, you were kind of steeped in it, in the culture. It kind of flew in and out, but a lot of it, especially the stuff for really small children, is so simple that it's very easy to remember. Like "Ring Around the Rosie," which then you learn is a plague song. 3 decades later. But I don't even think the kids do that anymore.
No, I don't think they do either.
Makes me kind of sad. Oh, I'm happy to hear that.
There once was a woman from Venus whose body was shaped like a... Thank you, Mr. Data.
So the next slides. So the next set of slides we have here are some of the bumpers and gags. These are kind of fourth wall breaking bumpers where you can see lots of the production stuff in the background, the cameras and the lighting rigs and things. It's cute. Lots of fun.
Vaudeville
stuff.
Reference again.
Yeah,
because of the stage and the curtain. And they were still doing that in the 60s. Ed Sullivan was basically kind of a vaudeville thing where you presented all the different acts. And the curtain came down in between acts.
Milton Berle and whatnot. And I do think that this had some influence on The Muppet Show as well.
Oh, yeah, certainly. And probably A Bug's Life, when that movie came out, they had a fully animated outtakes as if, it was a real movie. And that reminded me of this because they're presenting it as if it is a real production with the rigging and the stage lights and cameras.
And of course, Bullwinkle doing all these different acts, dancing, singing, juggling.
And breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. But also, I think it was something where it was like, don't get too upset. Like, kids, don't worry. They're fine. It's because this is all just a show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. You might have seen them get blown up in the last episode, but they're actually okay.
Yeah. Very little continuity here.
Oh, here we go. Here's the fractured fairy tales. Here's the fun.
Something really interesting, too, is a phenomenon just in the last 10 years, maybe even less than that, maybe like 8 or 5. The figure of the gnome, which is very Jay Ward, has started to be something that's being duplicated that you can buy in any store you walk into these days. The long beard, the big nose, the hat.
I would have to look that up, Tiger Stripes. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of remember that as being something that was from, like, that predated this. I thought that there... I don't want to start fights.
Well, garden gnomes were always, had been a thing for a long time, cement garden gnomes, but just this particular design.
Yeah. Which I thought that was Ralph Bakshi's Wizards because he looks just like a garden gnome.
Who took that from Von Baudet.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so Larry says, okay, so he's talking about this particular bumper here where they find a message. Look, Rocky. Look, Bullwinkle, a message in a bottle. Some fan mail from some flounder. And so, it's just...
it's a better message than that.
Yeah, something like
and then they would cut to commercial, and that's part of the joke, too.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm painting, Rocky.
Gosh,
I don't see the picture. Well, this is what I see.
Well, look, Old Man Bird says, I don't remember anything before 1970 to 1.
That's probably because you were born in 70, Gene.
My mommy smoked Winston's.
Aww.
Yeah, he's not that old man a bird if he was born in 70.
Too. Yeah, he ain't that old if he doesn't remember anything from 70.
I was living in Australia, and the only cigarettes that I recognized were Winston's. And so that's the cigarettes that I was smoking when I was in Australia. And it was so ubiquitous in terms of the advertising of Winston's in print, obviously not on television, but I would be having a cigarette and people would come up to me as I was at my job and they were like, "Oh, so you're having a win." And I'm like, I guess I'm winning because I'm having a cigarette. And it took months for me to realize that win was short for Winston. So
Sure, I get it. That's a hoot.
candy cigarettes for kids. Yeah, totes.
Oh yeah, we did have candy cigarettes. And then there were nice ones. I mean, some of them were just like sticks, literally, of candy, like like kind of like a peppermint. But then there were really fancy ones that usually were imported, that were chocolate, and they would actually come wrapped in paper, and there was like a little powdered sugar in there, so that if you put them in your mouth and then blew on the very first, time, you could actually get a little puff of smoke coming out the end.
Yep.
Yeah, those were the nice ones where
very
the filter.
Sophisticated.
Yeah, they came wrapped in gold and black foil. Really nice. But mostly I remember the wax paper rolled stick of gum cigarette.
That's the one that I knew. That's the one that I knew.
Came in the boxes that were like a parody of an actual box.
Yep. And so
I
then,
do remember bubblegum cigars too very well.
Then I
just
upgraded.
like Pixie sticks were just teaching young kids how to snort coke. So,
I disagree with that completely.
You were eating Pixie sticks wrong if you were
I think
snorting
it was just a joke. I think it was just a joke. So
nobody in their right mind snorts a Pixie stick.
I remember snorting Fun Dip.
So we're on the segments. The Fractured Fairy Tales are our first segment here.
Hooray!
Outside of the main storyline, and of course it of course puts a funny twist on classic fairy tales and children's stories and makes them really funny. Narrated by Edward Everett Horton, and we've got, of course, all of the same voice actors helping out here. And we've got a peasant's wife who wants some salad made from that European bellflower, rampion. And so that's what gets everybody in trouble. And so the witch says, "Yep, you can have it, but I'm going to have your firstborn."
Yeah, this is so twisted.
It is. It's really dark, but that's how the classic stories for children were really dark.
Oh, yes.
Because
a lot of the versions you get as children are actually kind of sanitized. The originals are super dark.
Yeah, because they taught children how to stay alive in the time in which they were created.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go into the woods alone, or you'll get your hand chopped off.
You'll get kidnapped by a witch or eaten by a witch.
Don't go into the woods alone, kids.
Yeah, but that's also like Hansel and Gretel is that kind of thing. It's like, don't go up to an unwindowed van with candy.
And don't talk to
Well, I have a
strangers.
little button right here, and it reads, "I got to see the candy first, then I'll get in the van. I'm not stupid." So, very dark. Very dark.
Sinister. Hello, Daddy smoked Winston's. One grandma smoked Pall Malls, and the other grandma rolled her own.
Incredible.
And I remember her getting Bugler and
Bugler, I think it might be called.
Bugler.
Sorry,
like a bugle. No, how could you know if you weren't there? These things are still pretty obscure even for me. I had a great aunt, very dear to me, who dipped snuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Bugler was the sort of the cheaper like drum, and the Dutch tobaccos were the nicer roll your own stuff.
But rolling your own, that's impressive.
Also, as the resident smoker, I would like to tell everyone that smoking is bad.
Yes.
So no one should do it in case any of the algorithm is listening. I don't want to sacrifice Jill's channel at the hands of William Morris.
Yeah, I started smoking
Morris,
late
Philip
in life.
Morris. William Morris is the talent agency. Philip Morris is the tobacco company.
It's a lot easier to never smoke than it is to stop. I started late in life, and I did start with rollies, but I ended up smoking way too much, and I eventually stopped. But it's a lot easier if you just never start.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, speaking of, I'll be back in a second.
So Sinister says, does anyone still hand out gum cigars at the birth of their babies? I haven't seen them around.
I think there are men who still hand out cigars at the birth of their children. It's still a thing.
Yeah, I haven't birthed babies in quite a while, so.
Yeah, the last time I saw the gum cigars was when my sister was born, like 25 years ago. So that's anyway,
maybe
the
it's not a
prince
thing
hears
anymore.
The prince hears beautiful music.
Yes.
And he's taken away by it. La da 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 da. It's really out of key. So I can sing
it's really
that.
good.
I can sing it pretty good. And so he climbs her hair. Let down your hair so I may climb the golden stair. Even though it's, ginger, but that's okay.
And all of the pretty women in Bullwinkle were my concept of beauty for many years in my childhood. This was what I considered beautiful. It's so ridiculous when you stop and think about it. The football eyes, the big irises, the eyelashes, the red lips, the pointy nose. This was beauty. It's I'm glad things have changed.
Well, she's about to get a haircut because of this. And she's stuck in that tower for 2 years. Somehow survives.
I think that's from the fairy tale. It's very that's straight from it. He wanders around blind for years.
But he was probably really blind in the story. Here,
yes,
his
in the
hat
story,
was just
he's really blind. I can't remember what restores his sight. It's possible that it's her tears that restore his sight. And that happens a lot in fairy tales.
Sinister says, nice singing. You got to start a choir.
It was just like the cartoon.
Yeah. As long as it's out of key and I can do it. So anyway, they seem to have a happy ending until she decides she wants some of that rampion. Here we go again.
Yes, the cycle of rampion.
The next one is Puss in Boots. I really like this one because there's a giant ogre enslaving everybody, and the Puss in Boots comes to the rescue of all these people, but really he was just trying to help his new owner because he was bequeathed a cat. The other brothers, they got land and they got a horse, and he gets our donkey and he gets a cat, which he thinks, oh, this is useless, but actually no. You just give him your boots and he performs, fantastic feats of political manipulation.
Yes, the cleverness. The importance of cleverness, particularly if you're down on the socioeconomic rung, cannot be underestimated. That's the moral of that fairy tale.
I think so, but also it's just appearances. He's just unwashed. He just needs to jump in the lake and wash up and get some clothes. And all of a sudden he goes from being a peasant to being what is he
being
called?
An earl. I think he's an earl. Do they call him an earl? He's
something like that.
Yes, which implies that you're a landowner.
Yes. Land of Marquis of Carabas. Okay. And he takes that all the way up to the ogre's palace. And the ogre is mad at first, but then he's like, oh, it's a cat who could talk. He's kind of delighted at the cat, which is kind of cute. But then the like you said, the cleverness, the main way he tricks him is, hey, he says it's a really powerful thing to turn into a fly. and he just smashes him as if it were nothing, and they're done with the ogre. And it's
Just
a
that
happy
easy.
ending.
Yes.
It's just that easy. It's a happy ending for that guy. He definitely got what he wanted. And
Oh, he didn't even know he wanted it.
yeah, he
It was
didn't
kind
even
of
know he
all the
wanted it.
cat's doing.
Yeah, the cat
It was,
did
it
the
was
whole
Puss's
thing.
doing.
Yeah. Well, of course, the cat wants to live in a palace. He doesn't want to live where he was living before. He did it for himself just as much as for whatever his name was here. I
Yes.
forget.
And here's one of those weird animation things where the claw feet aren't connected to the tub. It's just sort of
That's
mysteriously
true.
floating.
Oh, I love all of these. The Fisherman's Wishes. This is one of my favorites,
It's a good one.
especially when I was a kid.
Yes.
Is
Of a
this with the
fisherman.
wife?
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
it's with the
Yes.
wife, the greedy wife. But she got carried away with all the wishes that she was being given, and
Very pretty
he
mermaid.
yes, he
I
says,
blame
"Oh
the
well, I'm
mermaid.
gonna." Yeah, I know. She's the one. Like all the wife wanted was a new apron, but the mermaid's like, "I'll do more than that, and I'll
Right.
give you a beautiful gown." And so that just fed into the avarice.
Yes.
But oh, you cannot take me from the ocean, or I will die from depression. I forget exactly what she says.
Yes,
Or something like that.
manic depression, she says.
That's not exactly what she says, but that is definitely the feeling of it.
And this is the Little Mermaid. I want to be where the people are. No,
Different mermaid.
different
Well,
mermaid. Damn it.
yeah, that is the problem with the mermaid, is that she gives her a gown, and I
Yeah.
can't do dishes
With
in
diamonds.
this gown.
Yes. Which is true. Yeah, that's ever
It's such an.
increasing aspirational materialism.
But
Never
I also,
stops.
I kind of blame the fisherman as well, is because he's like, all I want is my net to be fixed. That's it. And it's like, okay. And then he goes and he tells his wife, and it's like, do you want anything?
Yes, you're supposed
And-
to tell your wife.
Of course. And then it's like an apron.
Yeah.
And then goes back to the wife. She's got the gown. And as you said, it escalates and escalates and escalates. But I think that once the gown shows up, I think the fisherman should say, my wife is starting to ask for much. Or maybe after the better boat. Like, and then be like, okay, I just want my wife to be happy.
Yeah, you would think the yacht would be enough. Now she has to be the queen.
Yeah.
And then she has to be a goddess. It's like, easy, Thanos.
Yeah, there's an interesting story about this particular tale that made it over into China in the 1800s and became so adapted that Chinese people think it was one of their stories.
Oh,
So
wow.
you'll actually hear this
Wow.
told in China as if it was one of their sort of classic ancient fables or stories. But I'm pretty sure this is one that came over in the 1800s after the Brothers Grimm threw picture books and storybooks for kids.
Well,
Nice.
and of course,
That's cool.
being a goddess is absurd. So the mermaid says, "What do you want?" I just want her to be happy, and so everything goes back to normal with their
That's
their shabby
the
house.
beautiful statement, but neat.
Yeah.
Shabby,
Yeah.
but
Shabby.
neat.
But neat. Yes.
But neat.
It's beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I have an
now they have
old
everything
beat
they
up-
could have ever wanted.
I have an old beat up brown sport coat / blazer, and it looks like Brody's coat from Mallrats. And it's got a hole in the back because there was one time that a heater got between my back of the coat and the chair that I was sitting on, like the heater from a cigarette. And it's got like scuffs on its elbows. And every time I put it on proudly. I love it. I use a lot of, dryer sheets to make it smell better. But the thing is that anytime I wear it, people are like, oh, it's so old and it's so beat up. And it's like, but I like it's neat. It's shabby, but it's neat. This is my 50 mission cap.
It does sound like you have some patching to do.
I should patch it, but the last time I patched anything, I used duct tape.
No. That's not a patch. We're talking sewing here.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
It's
You're
not,
right, you're
and
right.
don't go for that iron-on rubbish.
Yeah, that's a man patch. Duct tape. Like
Duct tape. Well, it was on a
Well, I
gray.
mean, yeah, at least
vest.
use fabric glue.
Nah, duct tape worked fine. And actually, the way I worked it and where the hole was, it looks like the connector strap on the Wrath of Khan uniforms. And everyone's like, "Why do you have duct tape there?" And I'm like, "Because away team vest."
Well, Sinster said, when you said, of course, I thought of Mr. Ed.
Of course.
So then we have Goldilocks, and this is essentially the same story that we know, except for that Goldilocks it also has the bad habit of destroying other people's possessions. So she's so they add on top of the story that way. Character.
That is a helpful
development.
addition to the story, I think.
It is.
I agree.
Definitely.
I was curious. What is the moral of the story in the first one? Because doesn't Goldilocks get eaten?
No, she doesn't get eaten.
No, I
So what
believe she
happens
runs
at the end of
away.
it?
She just runs away, and she learns, not to break into people's house, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so
That's
she
a good
learns the
point.
value of not being a criminal. Okay.
I was Goldilocks in kindergarten.
And
We
then
really-
I
we did-
assume
we did-
that
we
three
did the
bears
play.
taught you your lesson.
I really wanted to be a bear because they had the better costumes. But I took my role very seriously.
Nice. Well, and yeah, no, it's essentially the same. To the deep dark woods. So, that's the direction that deep dark woods are.
Yeah, the fractured fairy tales.
She immediately broke her dad's compass.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good addition.
Yeah, you could almost call these restored fairy tales because they really bring them back to their original tone.
Well, and just to be a little bit of a stinker, these are updating these fairy tales to, in 1960, would have been considered the modern audience.
Well, Warner Brothers did a whole bunch of Goldilocks riffs that are really brilliant. Really, really good.
Oh yeah, I like the Looney Tunes Three Bears too. With Bugs
Yeah,
Bunny.
the difference is these were updated with a sense of humor in mind rather than a sense of virtue signaling and smug superiority.
No,
I said I was being
one
a stinker.
particular Looney Tune
that's not
where
really
Goldilocks
necessary.
is a Bobby Soxer, and her grandma's real hip too, and that's the one that always cracks me up.
I really like the Three Little Pigs.
I
with
take
the
it
wolf.
back. It's Red Riding Hood.
I haven't
Not
heard the term
Goldilocks.
Bobby Soxer in
Red
like
Riding Hood's
50
really good.
years.
I don't know what that is.
Well, in the 50s, the teens and the preteens, would go to the hop, to the dance.
Yeah, the sock
and
hop.
you wore your saddle shoes and you had to wear socks, when you were dancing under
Yeah,
your
have
saddle
you-
shoes. And
have you
so
heard of a
they
sock
called them
hop?
Bobby Soxers. That was the name for the group of girls, kind of like tweens, like, I don't know, older than
that's-
tweens, though.
Yeah,
Well,
like
and don't forget the chaperones. So
Yeah.
it's
And
not like
there was a
anything
particular-
indiscreet was going
a
on.
particular fashion that went with the saddle shoes and the Bobby socks. You had a pleated skirt and a sweater on.
What about
Yeah,
the
there's a
what are
whole
they?
look.
Hoop dresses? Is it called?
it's
hoop
like
dress?
the cheerleading crew. Surely you've heard of a sock hop, like the 50s. There was references to it in Happy
Well,
Days.
at sock
and I
hops, you
think
had to take your
Grease.
shoes off because you didn't want to dance on the gym floor in shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
thank
Yes,
you.
Rampion. Yes, there's another name for Rampion, which I am loath to tell you because the guys will just never stop. So
Yeah.
What,
Known
is
for
it
its
like-
edible leaves
it
and
is.
turnip, like root.
Is it arugula?
No.
No.
No, I'm
And
trying to think of a
Cam
different kind of lettuce.
Says you're so
I'll tell
right
you
about
later.
kids not knowing fairy tales, which were really like. Well, my kids know the fairy tales because I
Oh, that's
told them.
good.
Yeah,
Right.
it's actually a word you don't want to say on YouTube. So
Okay.
What, the name of the
okay.
lettuce?
Let's stop now.
Well, just type it in the private chat so I can see
No,
what it
because
is.
then you'll never stop. I'll tell you.
I will not. I promise I will not say
Oh,
it. I promise
okay.
I will not say it.
it rhymes with great.
No,
seed.
stop it. Just stop. Just stop. Why can
Okay,
nobody
that-
stop when I
yeah.
say stop?
We'll stop.
Sorry I brought it up.
Well, you did bring it up, but we'll stop.
So that's the point of that story.
is-
The fisherman and the wife. The mermaid knows human greed is their undoing. Oh my gosh.
That's a beautiful observation. I don't know if mermaids are really that hip to human nature, but it's possible.
Well, Ariel was. She was always spying on humans.
But it's like the mermaid didn't have to teach the fisherman a lesson. The fisherman was already like, I just want my net fixed. It was when
she did more
Yeah.
than that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got a brand new net.
That's true. but still, like it's a net.
Anyway, Goldilocks learns how to not destroy people's objects.
Which is good advice.
Yes.
I should
Then we
stop
got-
destroying other people's objects.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. So now we got Jack and the Beanstalk. And his mother buys him all the toys. And so she runs out of money and they're destitute.
This is also a nice sort of fluctuation on the original Jack and the Beanstalk. Like
There's
there is
a boomer analogy there too, because we really did get all the toys. Well, my brother did. I didn't.
Yeah.
But
no, I got all the toys.
of course you
Well,
did.
it's great because there's a husband that's mentioned, and all the items that the giant has. The giant was the first thief, so it isn't all about Jack being a thief. It's actually about retribution.
Yeah, that's a nice
stealing back
addition.
objects.
Because, yeah, usually Jack's just a thief.
Usually Jack is just being mean to a giant who wants to eat him.
Well, no, he's. Oh, wait, hang on a second. This is an assessment that I have never heard before. Do you think that Jack is he a jackass?
He's a thief.
Yeah, in most Jack
original-
and the Beanstalk stories, he goes up to the giant's castle, his home, breaks into his home, and
Right.
steals all of his valuable objects.
I thought the giant.
He steals the golden goose. He steals the
Yes.
singing harp.
Yes. And
Yeah,
then,
and then I think the other one is what is it?
Yeah.
that
Well,
so
he
that
has
is
bags of
the
gold.
that's the original moral of the story, is that if you can find a way into a man's house to steal their riches, yeah, go for it. That's the moral of Jack and the
I
Beanstalk.
don't know what the moral of Jack and the. I mean, he's lucky because he gets magical beans. They actually are, which you kind of would assume that he's just like the town fool and somebody's taking a cow for nothing. But he actually gets magical beans. So I don't know. Maybe it's about just
No, but
the element that fortune plays in somebody's life, just happenstance.
see, I always focus on the beginning of that, where it is that he lives with his mother and there's all they have is the cow, and then he goes and it's always a little bit more nefarious with the person who is selling the magic beans. I don't know what it is in my memory because I haven't read it recently. And
Well,
then
it's clearly a bad swap. Beans for a cow is not a good
absolutely bad swap. Absolutely bad swap. And so when you call him a thief, I'm like, a thief is more conniving, a little more wily than a person who would trade. I always thought Jack was an
No,
idiot.
he gets up to the top of that beanstalk and he steals from the giant. Now, maybe the moral there is that if somebody is a man-eating giant and vicious and cruel, it's okay.
Oh
There's
yeah, a thief I
equivocation.
know
It's
from.
okay to steal from them.
I smell
Because they're a
the
villain
bones of an
to start
Englishman. We forget about the giant.
Well, the giant is he also forgets his tagline in this particular cartoon for some reason. He
He
keeps
can't
fumbling
remember it, which is a hoot. That's one for the kids.
Yeah, definitely for the children.
Yeah, the original story of Jack and the Beanstalk was simply about a clever a clever trickster outwitting a giant in order to survive, but it didn't really express an explicit moral. It was more of a tale of cleverness
Adventure?
and resourcefulness, and he did what he had to do in order to survive. So
Kind of like a dragon slaying, except it's a giant instead.
yeah, actually very, very similar.
Well, they're both
Mhm.
very destitute too, and maybe when you are starving, you've got to do what you have to do to survive.
The only
Well,
I like
problem
hey.
that
is
the
that
cow's back and the cow is happy too.
yeah, how did the cow come back?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still surprised the beans worked in the first place. That's the biggest
Also, the
twist to
cow
the
has
whole
chicken
story.
feet, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, but they're magic beans.
Yeah, even more surprising then.
Yes.
Show me their magic, and then I'll get in the van.
Well, I can show you a beanstalk if you have a couple $1,000s to invest. Maybe just a cow.
You believe that? I have some beans to sell you.
Exactly.
Sinister says the song "Ring Around the Roses" is about dying from the plague, and they would stack the bodies, and it would stink. And the
Burn.
children would put posies in their pocket so they could play.
The roses,
Well, a
the
lot of
roses
people-
are the funeral pyre, are they not?
A lot of people carried aromatics back then because nobody washed.
Right.
And yeah, they would definitely burn the bodies in a pit. But I think the ghoulish part of it was that there were certain members of, I would say probably the upper classes, who would go, because, you know, these were really grim times, you know, like COVID times infinity. And people would go and dance around the plague pits. And
See?
I think because there was a certain madness that, you know, takes you when things are just that bleak.
I know, right? It sounds like Star
And-
Wars fans.
Well, I can make analogies to, you know, the pandemic, but we should probably leave it there.
Yeah, no. Let's
Because-
keep it light.
Yeah. Let's leave it there. And before we get to Beauty and the Beast,
Quick
which I
Star
think is
Wars
really
joking
funny,
out.
there are a couple of these fractured fairy tales that I think are later on. There's this book called The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales where they lift a couple of these.
Sorry,
and this
what
is
was
one of the
that?
ones- There's a book that I loved when I was a kid called The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales, which is also like a fractured fairy tales kind of thing, but more modern. It was made in the 90s and there
You're
are a
gonna
couple
have
of
to
these
send me
stories.
an ISBN.
And are you saying they borrowed notes
Yeah.
from the fractured fairy
This.
tales?
Absolutely.
It does not
yes.
surprise me. I tell you, there's no thief like a writer. Never talk about your ideas in front of a writer, because they're gone, baby, gone.
Yeah, they do a Jack and the Beanstalk thing, and they do Beauty and the Beast, but they do it differently. Instead of Beauty and the Beast, they do the toad. You know how you kiss the frog and it
Sure,
becomes
Princess
a prince.
and the Frog.
Yeah. But also, like, don't forget, all of
Mhm.
these stories would be in public domain, yes?
Yes.
But
So you can
sometimes
adapt them until the cows
you-
come home.
Yes,
No
you
pun
can. But
intended.
sometimes people steal flat out. Here's one. Have you ever heard of the book and the character Emily the Strange?
I've heard of Emily the Strange, yes.
Sure. Turns out it's a total steal from a side character in a series of children's books called Nate the Great.
I've definitely heard about Nate the Great. Oh my stars, Tiger! You are launching my grade 2 brain.
I only learned
3.
this like within the last couple of months, and I was so
Holy
shocked
shit,
that I
I gotta write this
actually
down.
went and
Anyway.
got a copy of Nate the Great just to see that character. I can't remember the character's name in Nate the Great, but I mean it's literally word for word what they put in Emily the Strange.
Well,
Word
I
for
remember.
word.
You know,
So-
you had me at Emily the Strange, but when you said Nate the Great, I was like, oh, I've got some research to do.
So,
And that will
it's-
go back.
It's a
that'll go
small
back to my
thing, and
childhood.
yet
It's
how
it's fun.
small is it when people are taking word for word? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
you know, either acknowledgement and pay that person, or their heirs, or just don't do it. You know, just don't do it. Yeah, we were just
Or-
kicking that around, Sinister. It's really amazing. It's grim. I don't think he was stupid. I think he was naive, Jack.
If you're gonna, and I hate to be a stickler about this, but if you're gonna answer a question, you got to read the question, just in case people are listening. And so
You're right.
That's true. Yeah, I usually do say that, but the guy took advantage. Okay, so the moral behind Jack and the Beanstalk, says Phantom Outsider, is to take advantage of opportunities as they present themselves. Wow.
Especially if you're starving.
Mhm.
thank heavens he didn't eat the beans.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah,
mean, his mother threw them out the window.
Yeah,
in
if
anger,
you're starving,
I think.
magic beans is probably not your most advisable purchase. But
No, you're going to be like Chris Hemsworth at the
Oh.
end of Furiosa.
Okay. See, a lot of the adaptations of Jack and the Beanstalk skip this part. I didn't realize it was in the original story that the giant stole the items from Jack's father. But the only thing that this adaptation missed was that the giant also unalived Jack's father as well.
I have never heard that variation, Phantom Outsider. That's
I think that-
fascinating.
yeah, I'm not sure that's the.
I think
I'm
the
not sure
fairy
that's
god,
the original.
the fairy godmouse says that.
Yeah, but this story
Yeah,
has a
she
long
does.
history of being an
He does.
oral tradition story and a song. So as far as the original version, I'm not sure you can really put your finger on what that was.
Well, and I do feel kind of privileged to be speaking to you fine people in such a rational tone when I can use a phrase like, wait a second, guys. The fairy godmouse said that, and I can say it in absolute authority and conviction because I know I'm right about this, but it is just a fun thing to say. It's fun to start an argument with the fairy godmouse said that.
Well, the fairy godmouse needed to be there for narration purposes. It was very helpful.
Also voiced by a man.
Yes. Yeah. The fairy godmouse was a man. Yes.
It's clear that Rocky and Bullwinkle was the first presentation of the first homosexual mouse. Fairy,
So
which
The
would be
reference is
ridiculous at the
fairy
time.
godmother. Fairy
Godmouse.
Yeah.
Well, yes, godmouse, but the reference is fairy godmother.
It is the
Right.
reference, yes.
So Beauty and the Beast, this is this one. So this is the the Beast says that he's under a spell that can only be broken from a kiss by a beautiful lady. And finding someone to kiss him though is very difficult. Nobody wants to. And so he goes around and he even goes to a line where he could just buy a kiss and he can't even buy one.
No.
She closes it on him.
And this
Like everybody
basically
says it.
is a comedy of errors of a man looking to prove that he is more than he is, but no one will love him because he is fugly and socially
This has
aggressive.
very little to do with Beauty and the Beast.
Very little.
Oh yeah, nothing to do with Beauty and the Beast. Nothing
It's
at
about
all.
the beast trying to get kissed.
Yeah, there's no Stockholm syndrome or anything. He's
There's
just
no
trying
moral
get a
to
kiss.
this one. This
No,
is
no
just
moral at all.
watch this beast be stupid and socially aggressive.
But it's
Yes.
pretty funny.
It is funny.
It is funny. Well, it's kind of like Pepe Le Pew. It's like how he fails but never loses his resolve. Although I do like Pepe Le Pew better than Beast from Beauty and the Beast in this iteration.
Yeah, he's a lot more likable. Also, like Johnny Bravo from the 90s, if you want to go to my channel.
Yeah, that's not a bad one either. That's good. Anyway, the moral of this story, this is a man who will not take no for an answer.
That is not a load-bearing vine. So
Totally off story. Yeah, we did. No, the fairy godmouse was speaking with the voice of authority. Her normal voice would be taken less seriously, says Phantom Outside.
Oh, like kind of like Janeway?
Oh, and the kids' cartoon, the Lover's Leap. Oh my God, that is pretty dark.
Watch your
This
step.
is in the modern vernacular the unaliving lemming drop.
You would need a trigger warning for every segment of this show if they were.
You know what the best part is that he survives Lover's Leap.
Yeah.
So he just
Well, he
falls
is a
off
beast.
Lover's Leap. I suppose you're right. Superpowers.
Well, and this one lady thinks she's been paying attention, I guess, and she kisses him, and it doesn't work, so she kisses him again. And then the narrator talks to him saying, you are supposed to turn into a prince, aren't you?
That's what the script says.
And he says, you get kissed your way, and I get kissed my way. That's the
Which
story.
One of the things that I was reading mentions that the narrator in Bullwinkle and Fractured Fairy Tales breaks the fourth wall. And that really hit me because I'm like, no, the narrator talks to the characters inside the story, but then I don't recall the narrator. So it kind of makes me wonder, in this context, is the narrator on our side of the wall?
yes.
Interesting.
In my opinion, yes. And the reason, if I may, as soon as a character within a work, whatever work it happens to be, whatever art it happens to be, as soon as they acknowledge that they are existing within that art, it is a breaking of the fourth wall. From my understanding. They don't have to look directly at the camera. But heck, the narrator says tune in next time. That's a command talking to the audience.
Yes, but
That is a break of the fourth wall.
Rocky and Bullwinkle will address comments to the narrator, and like Natasha mentions, they will reference what happened on previous episodes or next episodes. So it's kind of all over the place. I'd say the narrator is on both sides of the wall.
Nice.
And with that, I have to go, guys. So I'm just going to crap out of here.
I love it when you leave with a proclamation that is awesome. You just solved it.
Well,
Hold on just a moment.
Fun.
Wait for just a minute for me to
Give Istophobos a proper goodbye.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Istophobos, for spending some time with us today to talk about this. And hold on, I gotta deal with something, but I'll deal with it in a moment.
That
is diegetic sound effects.
Yeah. Well, hopefully tonight at 8:30 p.m. Robot Head is going to be doing a makeup show for yesterday, which had to be canceled due to technical difficulties. So
Robot Head? Okay.
Yeah, so I should be
I don't
streaming
have
with
his
him.
link.
I do.
I'll put it up there. Yeah.
Please.
So hopefully that'll be 8:30 tonight. That's my next thing. And then just Sunday at 5 o'clock with the Mr. Brown Alliance. And that's really all I have to plug. So
Well, are you gonna do Wayfarer after that, or is that or do you do the Babylon 5?
Yeah. Wayfarer after Miss Brown. Sorry, on Sunday, yeah.
Cool.
And they are doing Paul Simon this afternoon, but I'm probably not going to be on that one.
Right. Paul Simon, gotcha. Yeah, because he does this music stuff. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my gosh, we need links for this. Linky links, please.
Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to mention about Rocky and Bullwinkle that you didn't get to mention? That anything you want to close on?
Oh no, not really. Except I'm probably going to rewatch that today or tonight because just after talking about it, it's like I have to go and watch this again. It really is so much better than most of what else I could be watching. So,
yeah, it's definitely a joy. And as it was to have you on today. So thanks.
Well,
and there's Robot Head.
Have a great weekend, and I'm sure I'll run into all of you online soon enough. So
there's where you're going to find Istophobos next, right here on the Robot Head channel at this link. Yeah, and see you around.
Super.
All right.
Yeah, lovely to have you here.
Cheers, man.
Everybody.
Yeah. He's a well of information, that one.
True.
No, I miss him already. All right, let's bring it back to this.
Okay,
we have
one of my
not talked
favorite fairy
Taylor.
tales, The Brave Little Tailor, as a kid.
Can you tell us? Because it is about a short man who's 4'2" who befriends a giant. Because he's been bragging around that he killed 7 in one blow. And the 7 was flies, but he neglects to say they were flies.
Yes. Well, that's kind of... I don't remember a giant in the original. It's just that he's going from place to place and besting people, largely because he presents himself as something that's an exaggeration of his accomplishments. But I always liked the one about the bird in the pocket.
And it's a tall tale about a short guy.
True.
I just like the story itself because I never heard this before.
And the
Oh.
just having the confidence does cause him to succeed.
Yes.
He even becomes a better tailor, in effect.
Well, and also he does become a better friend as well.
Oh, they have to chase a unicorn.
Yes.
They have to
no
chase the
unicorn in
unicorn.
the original.
There is no unicorn in the original?
That's embroidery. Yes. No.
Okay.
Nor is there a giant. I think it's really just about the brave little tailor.
So the brave little tailor gets...
He succeeds because he embroiders on his own reputation. Kind of like calling yourself the king of pop.
Sure.
Or the lord of all media. Or, you give yourself a moniker and people buy into it.
Yeah. No,
you say 7 with one blow and nobody says, oh, flies. Everybody goes, men. He killed 7 men with one blow. It's about PR.
So fake it till you make it.
Kinda.
Rumpelstiltskin. A terrible story of forced adoption.
Right, trading power for your yeah. Oh no, you know what the moral of Rumpelstiltskin is? Always read the fine print.
Oh, right.
She signs a contract to become rich from spinning straw into gold. And he gives her exactly what he says, except that she didn't read the fine print, which says that in return, she has to give up her child, her first child.
This is a nice variation. I remember in the original, I think she is actually transformed into someone who can spin straw into gold by Rumpelstiltskin. Yes. And then one of the things I like best about the original is that toward the end, the king or the prince who marries her actually meets a woman, an older woman who has been spinning all her life. And because she's been spinning all her life, she has a hump on her back and her fingers are crippled with arthritis. And he just kind of makes it, he looks at his beautiful wife and he says, my wife shall spin no more. So he, is valuing her health over gold. And I like that. That's a little detail at the end that.
Yes. Well, and she wouldn't know anything except, and she found a loophole in the contract because she didn't read it at first, but after she got into this mess, she actually read it and found the loophole. As long as she can figure out the name of Rumpelstiltskin, she'll be able to keep her baby.
Yes, and this is the one with Scotty's beatnik.
Yeah,
it's my favorite beatnik.
It is a good hipster.
The town crier.
He's better than Baloo.
Bang. I can't do it.
Neither can I. I don't remember the cadence nor the lyrics, but I do love him.
Yeah, it is pretty great. It's hard to find transcripts for the whole thing of Rocky and Bullwinkle. It's a crime that it's not easily available.
Rumpelstiltskin man. He's like Floyd from the Electric Mayhem.
Yeah.
Oh wait, not Floyd. Zoot. My mistake.
Oh, those people. Puppets.
Yes. It's fun to be shamed at a Rocky and Bullwinkle for knowing the Muppets. But I think that they have so much in common in terms of their sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
Well, now we've got The Princess and the Pea, another one that the Stinky Cheese Man book borrowed
Stinky
from.
Cheese? Yeah, Grickles.
Because
that's
it's not just
green
it's not just one
shekels, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Grickles. It's not just one pea under a mattress. It's one pea under 100 mattresses, and that's what they do in the.
Oh, what's that called? Once Upon a Mattress.
Once Upon a Mattress.
Yeah.
That's the role that made Carol Burnett famous.
Amazing.
Oh, but meanwhile, he's getting his friend to pretend to be the princess, and he one way or another, he ends up getting knocked out every time and failing. The whole time, also, he has this beautiful girlfriend that he keeps ignoring, And it turns out she's supposed to be the real princess. But by the time that happens, he's already dismissed her so many times that she's done with him. And, oh, Cam
Well,
Cam's
it's
back. Hey, Cam Cam.
hey,
Cam
Cam.
Cam.
Well, but this is also a weird thing. Like, who is the princess in relation to the jester? Is she just some chick? I got the impression that they were like an
They're
item.
boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was saying this whole time. Right? Was I not? Because she wants to go on a picnic and he's just ignoring her.
Yeah.
So she decides she loves this guy for some reason. And he's kicked out. Now we're moving on to Bullwinkle's Corner.
What
We're
was the
gonna
moral of
read
the
poetry.
The girls all love a
There's
jester.
There's no more.
Yay,
there's no more on that
poetry.
one. Yeah. Yeah, there's really no moral because it's kind of dumb to expect the princess to be able to fill a pea under 100 mattresses. So there's.
No, but that's how sensitive she is.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So,
why
yes,
she's so
poetry.
fair.
The first is The
Yes.
Swing by Robert Louis Stevenson. And so these during all of Bullwinkle's Corners, he reads the poetry, but everything always goes wrong. Something goes wrong in here. He gets chased and shot at, and maybe not having as much fun on the swing as the poem suggests she should be having.
Well, and these are far better animated as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
they
there's Little
do.
Miss Muffet.
It's kind of set in one location, and so their backgrounds can be abstract, and it is kind of like a stage, and so I like the
that's
details that they add in.
An interesting observation, because I think even as a child, I was aware that the bumpers were much better animated than the content of Bullwinkle. It always kind of made me wonder why.
Which one is
it's
it?
easier.
You can tell which one's in-house, and eventually, doesn't it all become in-house?
Well, that's true.
I don't know. I
Do they?
haven't gone
Do they
that
switch?
deep into. I don't know. I don't think so. It's possible that the animation studio in Mexico just got better at it.
Oh,
Because early days are early days, and they were probably trying to really crank it out. And then at some point, they kind of realized, okay, we have a schedule. We don't have to rush. We can watch and look for. But
Well, and it also
even from the
explains.
start, the bumpers were much higher quality animation, smoother, better, more consistent in coloration and just everything than the actual content.
Well, and I suppose that's why they reused them the most.
Then we have a Little Boy Blue by Mother Goose.
That's a big horn.
It's a lot
It's
of
a
work.
big part.
Yeah.
And then we have what do we have next? Oh,
I like the
At the
patches
end,
on the
everybody.
curtain, on the stage curtain.
right. Where Go the Boats? Lots of Robert Louis Stevenson, because he wrote a lot of children's poetry. So
Yes,
that makes sense.
that's the kind of content they gave to kids. Oh, he wrote for children, although his stuff was pretty sophisticated still.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and to the cadence of the poem, he says, "In out goes the bad, in comes the good."
But like this is the
Bullwinkle.
kind of it's silly, but it's also because
silly.
there are elements about the text of the poems and gets you curious.
Right. And in this case, the shadow is offended by the words in the poem. My Shadow by Robert Louis Stevenson. And so the shadow starts to beat up Bullwinkle. And so Bullwinkle has the bright idea, hey, turn on the light rather. And so the shadow will go away. Or turn off the light, yeah. And instead Bullwinkle disappears.
Subversion.
Surprise ending.
Yes.
I love Little Pussy.
Yes.
Who
Well,
writes
don't
this
we
one?
all?
Mm-hmm.
Who writes this
let's
one?
see.
I love Little
Let's see.
Pussy,
Okay,
your
it's a
coat is so
variant
warm.
of a rhyme from edited by Andrew Lang and illustrated by Leslie Brooke, but it doesn't say who wrote it. I don't know who
I
wrote
think
it.
it's one for the ages. It goes way
It's just-
back.
It's just a nursery rhyme about, kitty cat. But instead of a regular house pet, it's a tiger.
Yes.
The pet store made a mistake.
Tiger.
And why is there a tiger at the pet store?
It was the only one that was open.
Oh shoot. Oh,
Are you sure you didn't go to the zoo?
And then we go straight into Peabody's Improbable History.
History.
Oh,
Hello
Mr.
there.
Peabody.
I'm
What happened to
Peabody.
the hat tricks? Did we miss the hat tricks? Oh well.
And I love the
What-
first
Oh,
episode
the hat
with
tricks.
with the origin
no.
story.
No, okay. I got tricked. Okay, so this is
What?
not supposed to be here. There's still a few more poems. I was like, what happened? Where are all the poems? And there they are. So Boris is in this one.
Oh, Wee Willie Winky. Oh, it's so good.
Mhm. Right, he's seen as a criminal and he gets arrested. Because he's just lurking in the night, so I guess it kind of makes sense.
He's a peeping Tom.
He's a prowler.
Ah,
Little
I
Jack Horner
still-
doesn't work because
Yeah.
he puts cement in the pie.
Yes. And I like the punchline of this one because you're wondering, so how are we going to get out of this one, guys? And it's like, we're not. I lost a plum.
Yep, it's gone. Perfectly good plum gone. Oh, and Rocky makes health conscious tarts, and Boris steals them, and his punishment is to eat them.
this is the Knave of Hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from Alice in Wonderland, of course. Although it might have been a poem even before then.
The Queen of Hearts, yeah. Okay, there's the hat trick.
I only know the
This is
song by
greatest.
Juice Newton.
So,
you should read your
Bullwinkle-
Alice.
I should read my Alice.
consistently annoys Rocky with this magic hat trick in which he's never able to pull a rabbit. And it starts with a bear. Here, let's go. We got a bear. And then a lion.
Don't know my own strength.
I do have to get nothing up my sleeve.
Tiger.
That I am totally getting that as a notification because I have heard
Rhino.
it so many times over the last 12 hours.
And the best that Rocky can do is
Well, I'm
pulling
getting
Rocky
close.
out of that. And that's the end of that gag.
Well, but I have a question. We've only watched the first 10 episodes. This is kind of like Charlie Brown kicking a football. Is Bullwinkle ever going to pull a rabbit out of his hat?
I don't think so. That's the point.
No. That's the whole point of all of his side hustles. Whenever he does the juggling, he still can't juggle. When he sings, he knocks himself over. When he
Yes.
dances, he falls on his stick.
Well,
And when he
I'm
tries to
still
run the
rooting
movie
for him.
projector, he makes a
I
mess.
still want it to happen.
Something would still have to go wrong, though.
Of course.
Yes.
Big rabbit.
I mean, they put that in Twilight Zone just for that reason, didn't they? The movie?
Yeah. What did they put in the Twilight Zone?
A
Oh, okay,
giant,
now we're there.
terrifying, monstrous rabbit.
Yeah.
Phantom Outsider says, Mr. Peabody rooted for Sherman, as he always roots for the underboy. Also, the government allowed Mr. Peabody to adopt Sherman, as every dog needs a boy. Well, because if a boy can have a dog, there's no reason a dog can't have a boy.
Whenever I see a Mr. Peabody and Sherman, I always feel like I'm watching some sort of time traveling Batman show because Mr. Peabody is obviously Batman and Sherman is obviously Robin. And so I'm just going with that and having a blast. this is like Batman and Robin in time.
Well, but
It's
it's,
like
also
it's like a more wholesome, shorter, and educational Rick and Morty, where the dog is smarter than the boy.
even though he won't let Sherman call him father, he is
I
very
will
much
not
a parental figure.
respond to that ridiculous
they
name.
made a movie and it was very good. It
Oh,
was
really?
good.
I heard of it.
I was frightened.
I heard it was good.
When I went to see it, when it first run, and I was like, "Oh, please don't, PC this up." They didn't. It was good. It was very good.
Yeah. And so he realizes that just like when you have a dog, you need to have a yard, and you gotta to have the
Oh,
so
yes.
that the dog can play.
Yes.
Well-
He has to have room for Sherman to run because he's a growing boy.
Yeah, so that's why he builds the Wayback Machine to go back in
How do you
time.
spell
And by the
Wayback?
way,
Yeah.
what is that around Sherman's waist?
Wait, what?
Sherman's waist. I have to wonder what that is around his waist. I can't figure it. I mean, ostensibly it's a belt, but it doesn't
Yeah.
really
A big
exactly
belt.
look like a belt. I don't know. I feel like there's a joke there that I'm missing. That's why I thought I'd ask.
Could it be
It
a
does,
collar
yeah.
around the waist?
I know. It looks like maybe a dog collar. Is that the gag?
That
Maybe.
that's not a bad call. That's not a bad call. Because if they wanted to save money on animation, why are they animating little circles? You just
Yeah,
make it-
it's very specific, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
It's surprising that they bothered to do it at all. So I feel like there has to be a reason. Oh, I learned something today. Herman's Hermits.
yes.
Of course, Herman is Peter Noon. They called him Herman because he looked like Sherman. They thought he looked like Sherman.
That's
the
funny.
genesis of the whole band's name.
Oh, neat. Well,
And he
Wayback
does look like Sherman minus the glasses.
See,
He
I
did
don't
that
W-
know.
today.
I don't know what these guys look like.
WABAC.
Way back.
And
Well, and
and of
apparently
course,
that was
it always makes me think. It always makes me think of archive.org, which also has a Wayback Machine, which does exactly that. Lets you go back in time to internet websites as they were during certain time periods that they are saved.
But it was named after this one, of course.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
which was a reference to ENIAC and UNIVAC.
Good call.
So
Excellent.
Also-
that's kind of fun.
Well done, Scotty.
Mr. Also, Mr. Peabody smokes a pipe. Says
Yes, he
Mr.
does.
We don't know what's in it, but he's always squinting.
Only when he's, at home in the big share.
See, but that's why I
He
think he's
does know
Batman. Is he's got this penthouse apartment.
Yeah, in New York City.
Yeah, maybe he's more Tony Stark, but Tony
He's
Stark
very
doesn't have a sidekick.
sophisticated.
Yeah,
Which one does yoga?
Batman.
There you go. So we learn a little bit about his history of being a genius and going through school in a couple of years.
Definition of unflappable.
He was the wolf of Wall Street.
Yes. Outstanding.
And there's a pet store with kids. I'm not gonna.
Looks like Charlie Brown a bit.
Yeah. So what
Jamie-
kids have to live in the pet store versus the orphanage?
And then one day I found
Well, I could say
abused
something,
little
but I think
boy.
I'll pass.
Okay.
Well, he's a rescue boy.
Right. Well, he's currently being bullied, and so, but
And I honestly think this is the only time I've ever seen Mr. Peabody act like a dog.
Mhm.
It is
You can.
surprising to see him walking around on all fours on occasion,
Yes.
kind of like Snoopy.
Yep.
Mhm. Well, and this is how he frees Sherman from the bullies and begins the adoption process. Actually, at first he was just going to take him back home, but then he ends up wanting to adopt him.
You don't want to make toys? It does sound like the guy.
Doggy wants to be daddy.
Genuine extra. The Morning Telegraph.
Back in the days when newspapers had a morning and an evening edition.
Kind of like The Price is Right.
Oh, and he needs recommendations, so he gets the president to sign.
See, that is Mr. Peabody is breaking the fourth wall right there. He's Ferris Buellering.
And he goes through background checks. And of course, as we mentioned before, he goes through a trial. And it all works out. And they can finally use the Wayback Machine. And after this, after he realizes he needs to translate things, and he changes the Wayback Machine from a time travel machine to a should have been machine. Whatever that means exactly. This is how it should have been.
I have so many jokes about time travel right now. None of them are helpful.
That's okay.
We're watching
Every dog
Mr.
should have a
Peabody and
boy.
Sherman. Okay, so how much power does this take? Does it count for the curvature of the Earth? Sorry, I'm just trying to go through. Like, if it goes, do you have to figure out what year it is, dependent on when the Earth is in a different place orbiting the sun? Like, how did Mr.
Okay,
Peabody?
You call these jokes. I do not think that word means what you think it means.
No, I'm just saying.
What you're actually doing is picking nits.
Well, but no, what I'm saying is that I don't think it's important when we're talking about a little program with a talking dog. And so I was just
and his pet boy.
And his pet
but
boy.
Your brain is going places, and you just can't rein it in.
Well,
it's
That's right, Mr. Peabody. Quiet, you.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yes. And so after that introduction episode, we've got Napoleon, who I guess the whole point of this is to explain why he always has his hand inside his shirt.
Absolutely.
And that's because he's holding up the royal pants, because the royal suspenders were
so spoilers
taken. Yes, spoilers for something that happens
here
in
is spoiler. That's our nature.
True.
Yeah, look, these guys have stolen the suspenders. Now it's not a spoiler. Now there's none of this is. This entire show is.
I like the pirate representation.
Yar.
Yes.
Yar indeed. They were a multicultural bunch. Pirates.
Yes, and I like how Peabody says
they were.
How are you doing, Sherman? And he says, "I'm doing." Yeah, he's doing okay. He's yeah, that's nice. he's fencing with the other guy. But don't worry, Sherman.
It's a very jolly Roger behind him.
Apparently, there were sharks after all when the pirate falls in.
See, books don't know everything.
That's true. That's true. His book was wrong.
You got to be street smart and book smart.
And so the whole idea is that everybody's so happy that that Napoleon has to hold his pants up because now he's not as
making
war. He's not making as much war now. So they got the suspenders from the enemy, but they don't have to give them back, and so everybody can live in peace. Apparently.
And that's how it should have been.
Yeah. And then the next one is Lord Nelson. Yeah.
I like how he takes the trophy. He's got the suspenders in my rooftop penthouse.
We love his modern furniture.
So Lord Nelson has to deal with the Spanish Armada, but he forgot to cast off, so they're still tied to England.
And apparently there's some sort of rule.
Yeah. Oh.
But you can't cut the rope. It just isn't done.
Yeah.
I like this invitation. Dear Lord Nelson, you are cordially invited to attend an informal battle stage in your honor at 6 p.m. As ever, the Spanish Navy. Pretty polite.
Very polite.
Indeed.
And so they roll back so that they could cast off, but they have to distract. Oh, it's pure subterfuge is what they need, apparently. So he says that he's the Royal Rope Inspector. Kind of reminds me of earlier when Boris said that he was the Federal Plant Investigator.
Oh my God, Mr. Peabody is Doctor Who.
Yeah, sure. And oh yeah, and there's always some kind of silly joke at the end of this where he's like, "Oh, that's how the half Nelson came to be because his half brother."
Yes. A
made
terrible
this."
pun.
Yeah,
Yes.
some kind of silly pun.
For some
Wait until
reason,
you
Easier
what is
to
it?
tolerate than the ones in Aesop for me.
The silent
Which-
waiter.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we'll get to
Like
that one.
that joke. I had to look up that joke, and what a long way to go for a bad punchline.
What was it, by the way? What is a silent
What is a
waiter?
silent waiter? It's like something that you have to catch crumbs or ashes.
Wow. Interesting.
And it's like I thought it was an early variation on the dumb waiter.
I knew it wasn't that, but I did not realize it was
It's basically like
a crumb catcher, because I know what you're talking about. I've seen Butler. I've done that myself. You know, where you're cleaning off a table with a tiny, oh gosh, dustbin and a broom, but they're small. They're tiny. Dustbin is the wrong word.
Yeah, but it's all Well, anyway, I only saw a picture of one for the only time that I knew what a silent butler
Wow,
was.
I'm gonna have to look. Now you're sending me down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you can go
Alice
thrifting.
reference.
Go to an antique market. Find one of your
I just want
own.
to see. I just want to see what they are.
They're probably like
Essentially-
75 cents.
In this one, Peabody ends up winning a duel without a gun. He just uses the reflective shield here, a tray that is strong enough to reflect the.
He's shooting against. Is it Wyatt Earp?
Yeah.
No, this is Ace's McBad guy.
Well, Wyatt Earp was the one who was supposed to be in the duel, but he gets knocked out or something, or his leg is broken. I forget exactly what. And
Cam-Cam's
Peabody
leading.
uses the ricochet. Peabody uses the ricochet to knock the chandelier onto this guy. What's his name?
Ace's
Cam-Cam
something.
says, "I gotta sleep."
Aw.
Well, you should. It's good time.
Step.
Step
away.
Oh, I thought it said sleep. I gotta step.
For
AFK.
a kilo. Step away for a click. Step away for, I don't know what that means, AFK.
Away from keyboard.
Oh, away from keyboard.
If I don't get back, take it easy and have a good one, everybody. Thanks, ladies and Scotty. This has been a lot of fun. Stripes, it was good to see you. Been a minute.
Ditto. Yeah. Cam-Cam.
Hooray. Thank you for letting me know he was leaving. I was into what I was.
Oh, and Larry says dustpan. Of course it's a dustpan. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. At least I had the word dust right.
Oh, Larry
What
says
an
Doctor
idiot
Who
I am.
is Mr. Peabody.
Hmm.
Who came first?
Yeah, that's
Peabody
what I'm
was
saying,
Doctor Who
guys.
before Doctor Who ever aired. Uh-huh.
It's the Wayback Machine is definitely bigger on the inside.
Well, yes. Well, I don't think there is an interior. It's just a door, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a portal. Yeah, you pick your place, you pick your time, and you walk
Well,
there.
it is called a machine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not a vehicle.
No, I've never seen the inside.
But they never show them getting home. They're always just home. Meanwhile, back at my rooftop penthouse.
Okay. Now he is the fastest draw in the West because of art.
Yes.
Then we're going to King Arthur, which is which most of the guest stars are actual historical figures, although King Arthur is not confirmed.
Debatable.
Debatable, yeah. A legend.
Pendragon.
Also the dragon. Also the
He was
dragon.
based on somebody, though.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
All
like
the
William
exterior
Shakespeare.
is the interior.
No,
says
Shakespeare
Nazi
was
European.
probably somebody.
No, I know.
I mean,
I'm
he had to be somebody. He might not have been
Some
William
peop-
Shakespeare, but he was somebody.
Some people
Yeah,
think
same
it was
deal
several
with King Arthur.
somebodies.
No, that's different with Arthur.
like Alan Thicke.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So, the
Although I
knights
do
are
know
having
who Alan Thicke is.
trouble taking
Which
care of the
one?
dragon. And so Peabody has the idea to give the dragon bubblegum, which works.
I liked what were in Sherman's pockets.
It's
Always fun. What's in your purse? What's in your pockets? And you dump them out.
how does Sherman's bubblegum have helium inside of it?
No, the dragon is filling it with hot air.
Yes.
Oh
It's a hot air balloon.
Yes.
my god. That's amazing. That makes sense.
It does. That's the amazing thing
It
about
actually
it.
makes sense.
Nobody
That
would
actually
bother
makes
to do
sense.
that these days, but no, it actually makes sense.
I miss
Yes,
watching this. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's all on YouTube.
And hello to Donnie.
It's all there for you.
Yes.
Donnie.
Good to see you, Donnie. Okay.
The ocean is at your door, Jamie Lynn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Power Ranger Donnie. Good to see you. Get the DVDs. Agreed. I think Larry's saying that to Donnie. But it could be
Or
saying
watch
to
it on
anybody.
YouTube for free.
Anybody who wants to watch Rocky and Bullwinkle, definitely getting the DVDs is a great idea.
But which DVDs? I haven't even begun to go down that well because there's no bottom there. Again, the iterations of Bullwinkle and the way it's been sliced and parsed and presented and all of the various showings of it even as it aired, and then now what's left and what's been put together on VHS and DVD and everything, it's incomprehensible. I had to stop reading at some point.
Yeah, there's so much to learn about this series.
Yes. I couldn't even tell you which one to buy. Yes.
Here
And I like that they call him Schubert here and not Schubert, because I've always called him Schubert.
Yeah, his piano's been stolen, and so they're solving that mystery. And even getting in touch with the authorities and going through official channels.
And it still doesn't seem to impact reality because his unfinished symphony remains unfinished.
Yes. Yeah, even when he gets his piano back, he's like, I'm done with that. I'm moving on. And this, yeah. And so, let's see, what is this? Oh, okay. Now we're going to move on to the next one. I didn't see that it changed. I like this next one. This one always stuck with me when I was a kid. Why do you want to be with somebody who's poisoning you? What?
Lucretia Borgia.
Oh, right. But one more music joke. He has perfect pitch.
Yes.
God. Yes. Say it again. Lucretia Borgia. Lucretia Borgia apparently likes to feed her husband poison. And this is her 12th husband. And he's trying to snack on furniture to avoid the normal fate. But he loves her too much to leave her. So he doesn't, he puts up with the hemlock.
And it's interesting to me they made her a larger woman. That's interesting. That's a choice. I guess the idea is that she has herself no fear of eating.
I guess so. But the plant dies because, of course,
yes,
Peabody and Sherman do not drink that. And she offers him salt to put on his little chickens or hens or whatever they are. And he says, ARSENIC, salt.
Now that is a man who might be illiterate.
Maybe. Yeah. I did not see any evidence that he could read in this episode.
I don't think so.
And he's I like how he's stick man right here, but at the end when he eats,
Yes.
he instantly gains 50 pounds.
Yes, he plumps up.
And yeah, there he is. Yeah. And so the solution that Peabody came up with was to give him a little bit of all the poisons to make him immune. And oh, there's the silent butler that Scotty was talking
the
about
silent
before.
butler. That's fascinating.
Sir Walter Raleigh is upset because all of the Queen's cargo is under the sea, and he has to figure out how to get it. And Peabody has the idea, hey, if you want people to go fishing, you got to put up a no fishing sign, and it totally works.
They fish out all the barrels,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah,
is some
they're having
serious
fun.
fishing. And everybody's
Always
wearing a cartwheel collar.
Yeah. Oh no, but the cargo is affected by the ocean. The clothes are shrinking, there's fish in the barrels, but there's one more barrel, and it's got candy in it. And now the taffy has been turned into saltwater taffy.
Which is
And,
delicious.
I guess his life is saved. Sir Walter Raleigh. I need to look up who that is. It seems like an interesting person.
Oh, Sir Walter Raleigh? He's one of, Elizabeth I peer group. And yeah, they were all pretty fascinating, those folks.
Well, and that's where you really get the history of, isn't it like when he puts the cloak down for the Queen to walk across the puddles?
Well, they credit him, I think, with bringing tobacco to the UK.
Oh, okay.
Liz is a schnook.
Yeah. I miss
meaning
the
Queen
word
Elizabeth.
schnook. You
Bring
know
it
what?
back.
I'm bringing schnook
Yeah,
back.
schlemiel, schlemazel, schnook.
Haas
all
and
those
Pfeffer
great-
Incorporated.
all those great Yiddish words. And they're all a little different. That's the funny.
Oh,
there's
Scotty, learn
What?
some Yiddish for the Leonard Nimoy stream for me.
Yeah, there's a sentence which is really funny with a lot of semicolons in it, but it's like a schlemiel is this, a schlemazel is that, and it's kind of one of the things like the first guy's the one who drops something, the second guy is the guy who steps in it, the third guy is the guy who slips in what was stepped on and then breaks his leg. They're just these varying iterations of Dumb and Dumber.
Well, and then of course we've got this fun boat race with the steamboat against a clipper
Sailboat.
boat. Yeah.
Which I think was a
It's
real
a
thing. I
schooner.
think there was a race. I think
Makes sense.
that was the.
It's
the
not a
first
schooner.
steamboat was kind of famous for making.
But his problem is that he gets seasick, so Peabody makes all these fake environments to make him feel like he's not.
He psychs him out over and over.
Mhm. Yeah. Then he puts him to work. Because what happens with the crew? How did they leave? Like we quit? Where did they go?
Yes.
The other guy just takes them or just invites them over and they say yes. I don't know.
But that's why I like Mr. Peabody. He's unflappable. He confronts every problem as an opportunity.
Yes. He's got an
He always has
answer
he
for
always has-
everything.
Yeah, he always has a solution. And in this case, he's using the steam to blind the other ship, and it makes him run aground. Oh, yeah. I at one point he has him shoveling the coal because if he doesn't, everybody's gonna freeze to death because of the mural in the background, which is not it's not actually cold.
But he's a simple
But
boy.
yeah, well, Simple Boy won the race, and
Well,
then we
yeah.
do Annie Oakley.
Annie
Who was
Oakley.
in the circus, the Western Circus, Buffalo Bill's Wild West Circus. That's it.
Mhm. Little Sure Shot.
And I'm sure she can shoot a gun that's straight. It's just a joke in the episode that she needs a gun that's twisted.
Well, it's basically a fetch quest to pad out what we're doing here.
True.
But it's still endearing and it brings attention. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about Annie Oakley. Thanks. Wild
And she
Bill
had her
is
own
fun.
TV show in the late 50s. So there might have been a little parody here as well.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now. Really? Okay, I didn't realize. I was wondering about that.
As
I
well
don't
as being
understand.
a real person.
I don't understand this part. This what is the pun here? I don't really get it. I know petrified wood is a thing that happens, but I don't understand.
Isn't his name like Ace Forest or something like that?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's it.
And it's Petrified Forest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then our last story today, I think it's the last one. Aesop
and Son.
And that's cute because he's using a chisel, the hammer and chisel, and his son comes out with the jackhammer.
Which also I think is somewhat of a fourth wall break in terms of it being an anachronism for what you're saying with Aesop, because he's very proud about it's Aesop, and then the kid comes up with his newfangled technology and son.
Can you talk about this? Because I want to step away for a minute and talk about this lion
Sure,
and the mouse.
The lion and the
I'm
mouse.
going to start out by saying that I just learned today that Aesop was played by Charlie Ruggles, who was a great character actor who kind of built his career on playing older gents. You know, he was kind of old. He was one of those guys who was born 60, but he was a wonderful, wonderful actor, as well as doing this great voice.
Well, and there was something like in terms of the characters and how that they were. He played a character named either Sherman or Peabody in a movie in the 1930s, and then also the gentleman who did and you remember things better than I do, is the guy who did the Fractured Fairy Tales narration. His name,
Edward Everett Horton.
Yeah,
Yes,
and so he's
in one of my very, very favorite Cary Grant, Kate Hepburn movies, Holiday. Yeah, Edward Everett Horton has a role in that.
And it's fantastic. Like I think they both passed away in 1970.
They were long lived.
Yes, they were born in like 1885 or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, the lion is just picking on people because the mouse says you're not so tough, right?
Well, the mouse is manipulating him every step of the way, just challenging him, and the lion feels obligated to respond to those challenges.
He's like Iago.
Something you don't have to do, kids. Just because somebody's
Exactly.
throwing shade on you, you don't have to prove yourself.
If you know you're a
Unless you're
king,
feeling
just act
kinda
like
insecure. Exactly. So is that the moral of the story? I don't know, but I feel bad for the lion.
it. Well, and the thing is that the lion is trying to prove himself to the mouse because the mouse is attempting to usurp his power. But when he achieves that power, he ultimately has the weight of the crown of the king. It's like, now you got to start doing stuff. And he's like, oh, I thought this was my road to laziness. But it turns out that there's more responsibility.
I don't know my Aesop's fables that well. I don't remember one like this, but I don't remember them as well as I do because I had a book of Grimm's. My grandfather bought me a copy of Grimm's and a copy of Alice, and I read them, but I never had a copy of Aesop at home. So,
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. If
Oh, no,
if
let's
you
do
want to
that
be
again.
king,
We got with the moral of the story.
we
is
gotta
really
wait.
Good.
Jill just put it on slideshow, so we gotta go
Oh,
wait till.
okay. If you're gonna be king, you got to expect to be crowned.
Yeah,
That's pretty
which
good.
has a double entendre unto itself, which is nice.
Yes.
Well, yeah, there it is,
Yes. Yay.
and there was much rejoicing.
I also love the way in Bullwinkle cartoons, whenever there's a crowd assembled and they're supposed to be cheering, they always sound very ambivalent about it. It's kind of, they're all, yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Because they all do it together too. It's very underwhelming. It gets me every time.
Well, yeah, and I think that is at the root of humor, and this is why I do my non sequiturs, is that I think that non sequiturs are a complete opposite of what you anticipate, is one of the funniest things you can possibly do.
No,
And
because a lot of humor is built on repetition, particularly three. So I would argue that with you.
well,
Happens where the crowd is underwhelmed when the moon men are singing and you hear them cheering, but the cheers do not sound that enthusiastic. And yet the moon men are like, they love us.
the
Yes.
the audience is deafening.
All right, okay, so we've got the last words here. I need my Rocky and Bullwinkle to read.
Oh man,
Oh my gosh.
But wait until I get it all in there this time.
Yes.
look on
That was
the
really good earlier, but he started out of the gate. I was like, oh yeah, it wasn't
Yeah, you're
finished.
nailing it, Scotty.
look on the plus
You're
side.
nailing the Bullwinkle. Yes.
We
Look on
passed the
plus size.
audition.
Non sequitur. Did we?
Well, we did. She
On a
asked us back to
rooftop?
do the voices again.
That's true.
So
But
All
did
right,
we
this
pass
one
the
is
audition
in,
on a rooftop.
Sorry, this one of them is all capital letters. You don't have to yell those words. I just accidentally made
no,
them all
it's fine. It's
capital.
fine. I understand.
Okay.
I think you're still putting them up, right? Jill's typing
Yes.
as
Yep,
fast as
almost
she
done.
can. I hope you're copying and pasting.
Yes.
It's awfully good of you, Jill. Jill's
And-
the best. She's the hostess with the mostest.
Don't forget, I will read anything on the teleprompter.
Okay. It's ready.
Oh. Well, it looks as if our time is just about run out.
Mine must be a little slow.
You got the credits, Bullwinkle?
All on this itty bitty card. Whoop.
We're late again, Bullwinkle.
Right.
Bye now. See you next time.
And all these credits, of course. All the
Yes.
production.
Jay Ward, Bill Scott, Gamma Productions. Edward Everett Horton, the great June
He
Foray.
gets that top credit for just, I think, for his back. Yeah, the wonderful June Foray.
And a host of others. No titles, just names. I find that
That's-
fascinating.
I guess your administration, your administrative
guess.
staff, I guess.
Maybe.
Secretaries, accountants.
Grips, photocopiers.
I don't think you need grips for animation.
I'm not 100% sure what a grip does.
Oh, they carry the lights.
Well, I'm sure that
They
there's
set the
lighting.
lights. That's what a grip does.
Do you get a cinematographer in animation?
Not with this kind of animation, you don't.
Okay.
I mean, one hopes that they storyboarded. They must have been sending something to the animation studio, Gamma Productions in Mexico, but I don't know. I know that when it comes to comic books, the writer will write elaborate descriptions for the artist to draw that are in and of themselves so much more than just what the characters have to say in the word balloons or even, descriptive narration. They're actually describing the panel. but I don't know how animation works. I mean, these days everything's storyboarded, but that wasn't a thing for a while. Who started storyboarding?
I'm sure.
Makes me wonder.
I kind of feel like I heard about even going back to Buster Keaton in terms of storyboarding.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I think.
That's interesting. It makes sense visually.
No, Disney did storyboarding, but I'm sure they're not the first.
Who directed Battleship Potemkin? Because apparently, like, there's a huge level of storyboarding that happened with that. But yes, it has been prevalent. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to learn.
Yeah, it's fun though. But again, it is because of the artistry and the animation, and a lot of the greatest movies ever made with their storyboarding has been like kind of like animation or sequential art. And so it could be argued, I wouldn't because I'm not that presumptuous, but it could be argued that every great film in history has started as just doodles that say, then this happens.
Well, comic books.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Stone Racket recommended a book. I didn't think we'd get to it, but we got to it.
Nice.
He recommended The Moose That Roared. And
I will have to try to find a copy of that to read. I want to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm holding out for the what's the Aesop fable thing? Or the Fractured Fairy Tale thing, the Mr. Poopy Pants or whatever.
Huh?
What? Sorry, what? Is this a non sequitur? Because it is hilarious.
No. Okay, I'll show you that first. What's
it called?
Okay, it's called The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales.
The Stinky Cheese Man.
Yeah, here it is.
Ah, that's too good.
It is. It is wonderful.
You can understand why I went to Mr. Poopy Pants.
Yes, now I understand. I got it now. Okay,
Stinky Cheese Man.
There it is. Okay, so here's a bigger screen of it. This is one of my childhood favorites too. In the similar vein to Fractured Fairy Tales, definitely.
Oh, it looks great. The really ugly duckling.
Yeah. Ginger Rumpelstiltskin, yes. Jack's bean problem, much more, and it's also got the little red hen. I have found the kernel of wheat, said a little red hen. Now who will help me plant this wheat? Where is that lazy dog? Where is that lazy cat? Where is that lazy mouse? Oh my god, I can just read this whole thing. But no, this is
keep going. I need to know what happens next.
But do a Bullwinkle voice.
Wait a minute. Hold everything. You can't tell your story right here. This is the end paper. The book hasn't even started yet.
Who are you?
Brilliant.
Will you help me plant the wheat?
I'm Jack. I'm the narrator, and no, I can't help you plant the wheat. I'm a very busy guy trying to put a book together. Now, why don't you just disappear for a few pages? I'll call when I need you. That's incredible.
But who will help me tell my story? Who will help me draw a picture of the wheat? Who will help me spell the wheat?
Oh, what a hoot.
Listen, hen, forget the wheat. Here comes the title page. There it is. It's incredible. And then there's the dedication, and I couldn't be bothered to turn it around. And there's this whole introduction. It's amazing. The introduction is good. Everything is good.
Oh my God, Stinky Cheese Man. Okay, I'm making a note.
Yeah,
making a note.
I don't want to get into too much trouble with that one, but yeah. Yeah, I love that. But this is what Stone Racket recommends. If anybody in the chat enjoyed today's live stream and you want more, because I will have to go soon. The Moose That Roared, I just bought it. So now I'm going to know more about Rocky and Bullwinkle after having the live stream. Right? Larry says, Monty Python, Holy Grail animated sequences have crowds cheering ambivalently.
Yes, that's true.
I bet that, though, that was a reference, an homage to Bullwinkle.
Well, and don't forget, Terry Gilliam, who was the animator on Monty Python, was American, still is, from what I understand.
Good call.
Yeah, he might have seen it and been like, ha ha.
Oh, the original story from the Aesop fable, Phantom Outsider gives it to us. The lion was awakened by the mouse, and the mouse says, "If you spare me one day, I'll save your life." The lion let him go, as he was impressed by the mouse's boldness. Years later, hunters caught the lion and let's see, where is it? And tied him up, and the mouse chewed through the ropes and freed him. The moral was that kindness costs you nothing, but an act of kindness can have a great impact.
Thank you, Phantom Outsider. I really appreciate that because I knew that the story was very different, and it's so different that I couldn't. Thank you. I've definitely read that one, and it is a great story.
I've heard of one where the lion has a thorn in his paw too.
That's the one
seems similar.
the Aesop. I really remember the lion with a thorn in his paw. Yes.
So anyway, I guess the original text is better than the adaptation in this regard. However, entertaining.
Oh yes.
Definitely.
Maybe that story is so pure that they just couldn't make it funny, so they decided to turn it inside out.
Mm-hmm. So, let me see.
Hey, Bill.
Let me see where I am. Bill's here?
No. I was going to say, hey, Bill, what up, Jay? We'll take the lion and the mouse, but we'll make it funny. All right. And so.
And they did.
Oh, and here's
They
where
made a
I
lot of things
mentioned that
funny.
both Rocky and Bullwinkle's middle initials are J because of Jay Ward.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yeah,
Yes.
I had that in my notes, but I totally skipped it.
Yes.
Thank you.
It turns out that a lot of characters in The Simpsons have the middle initial J for the same reason,
Yes.
in homage
Yes,
to Jay
Homer.
Ward.
Homer in particular, definitely. Yep. Yeah, they know where they come from, The Simpsons, so I do appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me to talk about Rocky and Bullwinkle. I was worried that there wouldn't be enough time, but since I didn't, explain so much of the story, we were able to get through it.
I am I'm happy. This has been lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And yeah, and I think a lot of the reason, okay, first things first, big shout out to Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's my number one with a bullet. But also, the way you set this up and organized it in terms of what is a disparate story, this could have gone into many sideways. And I want to thank you, Jill, because your organization and planning for this is beyond my expectation. And I am spoiled to have you as a host.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. But of course, the creators, Jay Ward, Bill
Jay
Ward
Scott.
and Jay Scott. They did an incredible job too as the voice actors. I love them too. They did such a wonderful job and were such a big part of my childhood that I would and in my adulthood now too. I'm not going to stop watching this.
Oh, never. It's definitely
It's
intended for adults.
See you next time
And-
when we talk
in
about
some small
episodes
ways.
11 to 20.
Exhausting.
Right, we are
I'm
gonna
sorry. I don't know about that. It's exhausting.
I got to because I didn't finish the jet fuel story. I couldn't.
I'm in for that. But the thing is though, when I've been doing my research and then they start talking about season 2 and the Upsidasium and the Cedar Yorpants Flying School and all of the other great plots and all of the other great arcs. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to watch every one of these.
Yeah, I'm
But
just
not
gonna
all
do
at
the
once
jet fuel
because
story.
it's exhausting trying to watch them all at once. I swear to God. It's just
It is. It is.
exhausting.
Well, if it helps,
Yeah.
the jet fuel one is the longest one. So once you
That
get through
does help
that,
immeasurably. I was so relieved to hear that. Because this
Oh.
was kind of long. And then initially they were showing them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They were saying on ABC after American Bandstand. That would be kind of really good because you would then get the cliffhanger resolved for that week, and then you'd go to the next week. Whereas if when you're just seeing these once a week, you're kind of hard pressed to remember what's going on. Although they do recap everything beautifully at the top of every episode. It's just
Yes, I
perfect.
skipped the
It's the
recaps.
perfect cartoon. It's so
Mhm,
brilliant.
it is. It's really beautiful. I agree. And Larry says the metal munching mice. Ooh. And
Larry also said, I was destined to be here. And you were, buddy. Look
thank
at that
you
icon.
for being here. Yes,
Yeah.
Destin. Yeah. I'm glad I found you for this. I'm glad you're here too. So most of the time, sometimes like when they're doing the beatnik stuff, it's like, okay, this is the 50s, but or turning into the 60s. But most of the time it's kind of timeless. A lot of the stories are.
Well, they all just sound like impressions. Even the beatnik guy doesn't feel out of time unless you're aware of it. Like if you're a kid, it's just another guy making a funny voice.
That's true. That's true. A kid from today hearing that, they're just like, okay, this is just funny. I could see that. I got to show it to my daughter. I think I've shown it to my son a long time ago, but I never shown it to her. I know he likes Rocky Bullwinkle, but I
I don't
think I
know.
neglected.
I don't know what they'll think of the repetition.
Mhm.
Unless you're trying to sell cereal, there's no need for that much repetition.
Yeah. Well, I'd have to explain it why it's happening.
The little
Gabbo,
kids love the
Gabbo,
repetition.
Gabbo.
The tiny kids
Yeah, I
love
guess.
repetition. But
Mhm.
yeah, I was getting good at zapping it. It's
Me
zipping
too.
through.
I haven't used my remote control for my Blu-ray player that much ever.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I went through all of my notes because I had some notes that I wrote down and I forgot to look at this. The how Sherman sings Jeannie with the light brown hair to get
The
that
neighbor
guy
of
to give back
Schubert.
the
Yes.
to give back the piano. I can't stand it. The kid singing the Jeannie with the light brown hair. And then I forgot. I forgot to remember. Bullwinkle saying recommember. I
That
really
was
forgot.
fun.
I remember.
I recommend.
Now let's see. Oh yeah, I wrote down Moose Missile too. So, oh yeah, the loopholes. Oh yeah, when the queen slaps him with the roll of paper. I found the loophole. Yeah, she's got to be violent. I love all the violence. It's so fun. Let's see. Okay, I got that one. That was it. I just had to double check.
But yeah, it's been a blast revisiting. I can't
Mhm.
wait to do it again. I am going to take a break.
Yes.
But yes,
Yes. Yeah, that was a great time taking a trip through the Wayback Machine with Rocky and Bullwinkle and friends.
and friends.
Hmm.
And friends.
And maybe next time I'll have some clips. Because I won't have to do all the bumpers next time because we
As
did
long
already
as the
this
clip
time.
police don't come arrest you, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But I have
Yeah,
to
I'll
worry.
be careful. I'll be careful.
I have
Less
no
than
idea
7 seconds.
how people do that and get away with it. People do.
Hmm. Less than 7 seconds seems to work. Anytime I go 9 seconds or 8 seconds,
Interesting.
they get you.
Fascinating.
Less than
Like a
8.
rodeo.
7 seconds.
Mhm.
Like a rodeo.
Cam says, thanks again, Jill, Stripes, Scotty. But also thank you to Istophobos for being here earlier to talk
Yes,
about.
Istophobos.
Yeah, he's pretty great. So, Scotty, what are you up to online?
I don't know. I'm going to be hanging out with Ben on April 14th for his 10th anniversary over on Cinema Gulp. I just got the physical complete series of Twilight Zone, so I'm hoping to return a little bit more regularly for that with Jill. And what else? Phantasmagorium whenever I stay up past 10:30. And yeah, that's it, I think. Oh, and also lots of love to Paul from Twin Flicks. He's been a little under the weather, and I want his speedy recovery. But he is also a friend of mine, and I don't know, everybody else that I forgot. It's a great honor to have this statue. Thank you for the Academy Award.
Yes, it is made of bubble gum, but it's still good. And for me, yeah, I'll be doing Twilight Zone too. Oh, that's too bad you want to do the Twilight Zone so much. We just have like 2 more before I go. Twilight Zone goes on hiatus for all mankind for the whole summer. So
Totally
you've
fine
got
with that.
1. You've got 2.
That's fine.
Wait, no, you've got 1. One Twilight Zone left. Come for the last one.
Sure.
I forget what it's gonna be. But it's gonna be
Probably going to be
Jezebel.
weird.
It's gonna be weird.
Oh, that sounds
Come
like
for
a thing
weird
that I
one.
like to. Yeah, I'd love to see Jezebel.
Yeah.
Oh, Jezebel.
that-
That's a
Wait.
good episode.
Never seen it.
Jezebel.
Mhm.
It's good.
And then for all mankind for summer. And then Saturday. I don't know if I'm doing something Saturday or not. If I do, because it'll probably just be a short leave. I think Scotty will not be there for that one because he's going to be preparing for a meetup, and so that should be good.
Ooh, woo.
with
How exciting.
Daniel's
I
Hot
might be
Topics.
there. I might be there for a little while at the beginning, but I can't stay all night.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be nice if we could stay for an hour and then go to bed.
Yeah.
Or however long you want.
But yeah, I'm going to be hanging.
Young kid.
Going to be hanging out with Daniel's Hot Topics on Sunday. It's his birthday, and so we're going to go to a food court.
Oh, wow. Are you going to film and put it on YouTube?
No,
Aw, that's too bad.
I don't know. We might take selfies or something. I don't know. I don't know how this works. I've never done a meetup.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, that's lovely.
Let me find my closing videos, and thank you everyone for remembering Rocky and Bullwinkle with me. I'm gonna go watch more too. I'm gonna go finish this one storyline at least.
I'm telling you, you should watch the movie. It's kind of fun, and you like it. It's got Keenan in it from Keenan and Kel.
Oh, I do like Keenan and Kel, but I like them together. They're Abbott
I
and
think
Costello.
I think they're in it together.
Nice.
Let me look before we go. I just want to make sure.
Are they in their
And-
burger outfits?
No, they are they are alumnus or students of Wasamariu.
Oh, Watsamati you.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
and
have
they're
a couple of
students in
T-shirts
Keenan
back from
culture.
back in the day. One's a Wasamata U T-shirt, unbeaten and untied.
And Jill, yes, it has both Keenan and Kel.
Hooray!
Wow.
Okay, then I do want to see this. You've changed my mind about this movie. I need to see it. But until then, everybody have a wonderful rest of your Friday. I hope you. Well, is anybody live? Should I send you guys to somebody? Let me see what's going on. Who's live?
I think my other T-shirt was the Cedar Your Pants Flying Academy. So the Wasamati U has Bullwinkle in the middle, under the letters, and the Cedar Your Pants, of course, has Rocky.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Be
okay.
seeing you.
Is this live? Let me see if this is live. I'll send you to Northern English Bastard channel. He's doing a stream about Pulp Fiction.
Hooray.
Oh boy! Oh my God!
So he's the only one I see streaming right now. So
Not
I'm
one
gonna
for the
send-
kiddies.
No. This one was for
On
the
both
kiddies
counts.
and the grown-ups.
The path of
This
the
one-
righteous man.
Pulp
No, I
Fiction might
sound.
not even be for all adults.
Yeah, there's sodomy and pegging.
Yeah. And
Thanks, everybody who came in to see our Rocky and Bullwinkle.
yes, thanks everybody. I'm just doing this thing where I redirect you guys over to a friend because it's fun. but it does take my attention away from the stream, which is not good. I've got to find my live stream and I've got to edit it and just go to customization. There it is. Redirect.
Well, I'm out of time.
I know. I'm closing right now. I'm just trying to do this quickly. Can you say something for me so I can do this?
One of the best things about watching Rocky and Bullwinkle, and especially when you're, I don't know, you're trying to be smarter than the art when you're analyzing the canon of Marvel or anything, and you're like, oh, this doesn't work and that doesn't work. And the thing is that this is just, it's not candy. It's kind of like it's good for you, but it's also entertaining. Like there is intellectual value to it, and it does make you feel good. There's bad guys and good guys, but you don't have to think too much about it. It's just Boris and Natasha, who are the bad guys, and Rocky and Bullwinkle, who are the good guys. And they get in misadventures, and sometimes they change their perspectives and try and figure out what they're doing.
I can't redirect anyway. Yeah.
I'm just saying that this is such a lovely comfort animation series from days gone by. And
it's an education on all things early 60s.
Yeah.
In terms of cultural references. You won't get half of them until you watch it 3 times.
And it's really smart. And it's really funny.
But funny.
And yeah, it's like a music video for people with crayons.
Okay, you lost me. But that's okay. Non sequitur. Yay!
Yay, Canadian Spider-Man.
Spidey.
I'll see you around, Spidey. And thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you later. See you next time.
Cheers.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.